Welcome back to the Gym Leader Chat Lounge podcast, the podcast where we talk about all things Gym Leader Challenge. I am John Patterson. Joining with me today are my co-hosts, Tony Saya.
What's going on, everybody?
And Alex Carpenter.
Yo, it's good to be back.
Good to have you back. Good to have you back. So, as you may have noticed, we are short one Ben Morse this week. As he said, he is moving. We thought we were going to have to take 2 weeks off, but fortunately, the rest of us here, Tony and myself, and got Alex to join us, were able to get together to film an episode for you guys for the pre-3K content, which is something we really want to make sure we get out each time. So, yes, we've got the 3K coming up next week, so we're going to be talking about that along with our usual league recap. We'll talk about our last 2 badges briefly because we've got some other things to get to today. And then we'll end up closing it out with some new cards that we've got from the newest set coming out in Japan that we're going to go over. So with that being said, how you guys been? How was your weekends?
I'm pretty good. Just a chill weekend. Looking forward to the 3K this weekend. And we have Alex here with us. And Alex, you're actually not playing in this 3K. Tell us a little bit more about what you're doing.
Yeah, me and Chucky from Turbo Blaze are casting so that Andrew can play. It's something that I've casted with Andrew a few times, done a couple cups, couple Thursday nights, and it's a lot of fun. And he reached out. I've been telling him for a while that if he wanted to play one, I would cast it, and he finally took me up on that. So I'm excited to see how he does.
Yeah, Andrew's been playing in more of our locals, and he's been doing pretty much like a stream 1 week, play the next week, switching on and off. But you can tell he wants to play. Like these are still $3,000 tournaments. Like, it's a pretty awesome opportunity, when they're in our backyard. So I can't really fault him for wanting to play, and that's a sick opportunity for you to be able to cast as well as Chucky. And I'm glad that he went with one of our crew, one of their crew, kind of like the 2 predominant GLC sectors. I don't know if you want to call it that, but yeah.
Yeah, I got some good representation in there. Should be a great cast. Alex, like you said, you've cast a few of the Thursday nights and stuff before. You closed out the last 3K casting with Brooke, right? You and Brooke closed that out.
Not the one before that, yeah. Phantasmal Flames. I flamed out, and Andrew needed someone to help him cast. So
it'll be sick to see you run the whole show this time there. So exciting opportunity.
All right.
And it is also with Andrew playing more. He did say he wants to get a couple more of us locals just to learn how to do it. So that he can, at least in his mind, have the chance of some of us might volunteer to cast one while a Thursday night while he plays, which, to be honest, not out of the realm of possibility.
That would be sick. I'm sure there's I would do it. I'm sure there's a couple. I know Ben would probably do it. John.
A lot of people have said that they enjoy it, but yeah.
No, that would be sick
cool.
For sure.
Let the man play his own format.
Right? It's such a good format.
He is just stuck up in this. I never thought about that for the longest time, that he's streaming the locals that we're all playing in. He just sit up there and watch. Like, that would drive me crazy. So I'm glad.
Yeah, the last season he got to really play a lot of. He was the third when it was me and Ben tied at 8. He was the only. He was there at 7.
Yeah.
In the first season.
That was before my time. All right. With that out of the way, I will move us into our brief league recap this week. We do want to talk a lot about the 3K, and we got a tier list and top 8 predictions. So we are just going to run over our league from last Thursday, as well as we have Hunter Horax. Actually, let's talk about that before we have Hunter's list from last week, before we talk about the standings from this week. Hunter won with the most traditional hydro pump deck you have ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just classic Baxcalibur, Frostmoth, get your well powered up. And yeah, I love Hunter's lists. I love and hate Hunter's list because they're always blinged out, but sometimes they are so insanely hard to look at. Like this is like I need to like shield myself from
That,
all of like the gloss.
yeah,
Yeah.
that they're also always double sleeved. So like anytime I try and borrow one of his decks, I cannot shuffle it. I got so short, fat fingers.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, but if you're looking at this deck just to like admire it and look at its glory, it's great and fantastic. But if I'm like trying to look at this, trying to copy the list, I think
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah,
I think I'd lose my
it
mind.
would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Tony, just a pretty straightforward hydro pump list. Going 5-0, not this last week, but 2 weeks ago. This was week 39. Week 40 was our week we just had. But this hydro pump is just kind of the tried and true. Hasn't really changed much other than updating, the Baxcalibur from the Blastoise, and a few other things here and there. But it's just like
Throwing willies.
it's
Yeah.
the whale has changed. Yeah, the whale has changed a few times, but it's same idea, big whale from when GLC first started. So yeah, very very good deck.
Yeah, nothing has fundamentally changed about this deck from like day one GLC. It just gets
It just
updated. Like
doesn't.
it gets new optimal basics and it gets like
Yeah,
the
we got one.
universally
Getting
good.
one this set.
Yeah, yeah,
Getting
that
one.
is true.
Yes.
We will talk about
Upgrade this set.
we will talk about the new optimal Whelmer later on.
Mm.
But yeah, just your average hydro pump list. Congrats on Hunter 5-0, and let's get back to this week's standings. We had a Pittsburgh invasion this week. The Pittsburgh crew rolled up names you might know like Brooke English and Winter, who won our last 3K with Not Too Blindside. They were both there and they played, and we actually had Brooke winning our whole league at 5-0 with the Not Too Blindside deck. I was in second place, not like a true second place. I didn't lose to Brooke in the last round. That was actually Ben's honors. You see him in third place. And we had Ben Peacock rounding out the top four, also on Not Too Blindside. Any other thoughts about our top 8 here? Anything interesting?
No, it pretty much shook out how I expected from round 2, honestly, when the top 4 tables were Brook and then 4 or 5 tables of just Diggersby decks.
Yeah, there was a ton of Diggersby there. Yeah, I played Brook in round, I can't remember if it was round 2 or 3, but I ended up getting I got my Diggersby attack Mimicued, and Brook put 3 damage. I watched Brook put 3 damage counters on all their Pokemon, and I was like head in hands. I was like, it's absolutely over for me.
Yeah. Yeah, just Giga Giratina.
Yeah, like
pretty much.
My whole board
set
is
up for the rest
shredded.
of the game.
Yeah.
Well, your board is just ripe for Blacephalon.
Yeah, it was. I think I scooped that game when it was like 3 to 4 prizes. I was like, yeah, there's no way that I'm even gonna.
That's got to be up there with just one of the worst matchups in the history of the format.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not.
Unless you ask Tony on Thursday, 5 minutes after the game.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, because you beat one of these, didn't you?
I
didn't
did.
you beat Monkey Blindside as
I did.
colorless?
I beat Monkey Blindside twice. Well, I beat Monkey Blindside 3 times in the night. I played Ben Peacock in a fun game, and then I actually played him round 1, and I beat him. And then, so I was like super confident when I was gonna play Brook. Like, confidence not the right word, but like this is winnable. But it just felt.
If you just like ignore Diggersby.
Yeah, it just felt so horrible. And then I ended up playing Winter in one of the later rounds, and I won that game. But I will say that every game is like hard. It involves having to like. I think both the games that I won, I had to like scoop up net my Chinchino at one point because that guy's always I'm putting Diggersby damage on it, and it's gonna get pinged with Giratina or Monkey Dory or whatever, you know.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, I mean, like the one and only advantage I think you have in that matchup is like you are a faster deck, and so if you can just get off to the races
it's
faster,
weird because it's like traditionally like the more turbo colorless type decks have had a very good psychic matchup, because it does just go fast and
Mhm.
say, I'm gonna boss your guy turn 2 and do exactly what I want. And like that can be hard for Psychic to deal with, but between Psychic both getting better at dealing with that and by virtue of you shoving Diggersby in the deck,
Yeah.
uh, which has seemed good outside of like specifically this and any fighting deck playing Tang Lu.
Mhm.
Um, it like the Diggersby is really good. It synergizes well with Dojiro and the pigeon, the pheasants, the unpheasant
Mhm.
line stuff. It just
Yeah.
you've made Cullis, which is supposed to have a good psychic matchup, have a bad one.
That's just by virtue of what's the best way to play Psychic right now, though. And it just
Mhm.
happens to be
I guess.
it happens to be
I
like the
guess.
spread style with Blacephalon and Monkey Dory and stuff.
That's
But
true.
the matchup is winnable. You just have to get Lost City involved, like really aggressively.
Yeah.
That's how I won my games. Is
Yeah. You turn to Lost City, Ralts, whatever.
Lost City something. You can Lost City the Ralt,
It-
you can Lost City the Monkey Door, you can Lost City the Natu. There's not really like a wrong
or the
decision.
Giratina.
Or the Giratina.
Like the gear, if you
Mhm.
Lost City Giratina before they attack with it, they just are never putting damage in play for Monkey Dory.
Yes. They're just like waiting for their Blacephalon turn.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll look at Brooks' list here. Again,
Yeah.
just straight, not too blindside, like max consistency. Like, this list looks great. I love this list a lot.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
the only slot that like I'm a little iffy on is the Lost City, but it does can help a lot into like fighting decks. Lost Zoning of Soul Rock or a Okie Dokie can be huge. That or at least before we all realized this was such a good deck in itself. There was a time when Mr. Mai, the bench barrier was honestly quite cuttable. But I think it's
Mhm.
just so important in the mirror specifically that it's not. I don't think it's cuttable
Yeah.
anymore.
I
So
always
it
like
really is
to
just
I always like to pretend that, like, yeah, you could get away with not having the bench barrier because I always thought I was like, well, they can just blindside the active, but that's a lot harder for them to pull off,
Mhm.
yeah.
than because the Giratina, with its ability gets the damage
Mhm.
counters on the bench specifically. Like you have the Monkey Dory to move it where you need it, but like having the bench barrier, I think in the mirror and other matchups just makes it's so much easier
Yeah.
to avoid that happening.
It makes you feel safe in the mirror. And with how good the deck is, like
Yeah.
that's such an important matchup. So like if one person's playing Mime and the other person's not, like that weakness is for sure gonna get exploited. And it's
Mhm.
Poff and searchable. That's broken.
That's also it's
That's
buff and
broken.
Yeah.
searchable, and it's still 70 HP. It's not
Mm-hmm.
60 like the
Yeah,
Mew
you're not gonna get Silent
is
Lab
big.
bull sniped. Like,
But the only card in here that I'd really mess with would probably be seeing if I like Velocity as just some other stadium or
Hmm.
whatever it be, whether it be like an Artisan or whatever, or maybe a reset stamp.
yeah,
Been really liking that card lately.
I like the Lost City just as like a straight power card. Like,
That's
Hmm.
I think it's still
yeah,
good.
it just like it's not like hinging on like the strategy of the deck's not hinging on you Lost Citying something. It's like
Mhm.
it's just another card that makes your deck more potent, and I like that.
Yeah. And Psychic's got like plenty of good individual consistency cards and stuff. So like you said, Alex, it could be like an Artisan, it could be something else that
Yeah.
helps with your consistency. But like in a type like Psychic, which just has so much going on for it already, it's like you can afford to play like a power card there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
But yeah.
the Psychic unique card, like Psychic has
Yeah,
every
I think
every
it
type unique card. I think
uh
it doesn't have like a search supporter, but it has the
it
patch.
also
It
that
has
it doesn't
Pokemon
have
search.
a search stadium. It doesn't have like a brooklet.
Okay, I
But,
Oh
I mean,
guess.
yeah.
every deck can use Artisan, so it's
To
not
make
that
up
big
for
of a
that
deal.
though, you have a search energy. That's
Yeah.
that's so insane.
Yeah, let's not talk about the difference between telepathic and every other energy they've.
It's so
Even the good
broken.
ones
Yeah.
are like, oh wait, they're still not telepathic.
Yeah, it's so insane.
Yeah, no, I think I like this Lost City slot as a power card. I'm just not sure Lost City's the power card I'd want, but I mean, the deck's good.
Yeah, it's kind of
Not gonna
like
say
yeah,
it's not.
it is like the same line of reasoning you said like reset stamp. Like that's another. another power
reset
card
stamp,
that you're
or
not.
it could. Another thing in the same vein as Lost City is I really like the idea that got second at the last 3K of Giraffe Rig, Get Lost Giraffe Rig.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I really like the idea of that, so that would be something I'd maybe try in the slot. But
Hmm.
I mean, good deck wins games.
Very, very true.
Good deck, proven. Yep.
Very proven.
Yep.
Let's move on. So my deck, I played Diggersby this week, and I actually didn't play the deck with um the what's the bird? Unpheasant?
The pit
Unpheasant
of and the
was?
unpheasant. Yeah.
Yes, the pit of and the unpheasant. I went more I I'm not bought into like the solo Diggersby strategy because I feel like that version of the list that plays the unpheasant is, you are
Which I
like
think we've only
trying.
talked about it like once or twice. What does the unpheasant and the pit
I
of do
I
in this
think
deck?
does Ben have it in his
So
list?
yeah,
Okay,
so the pit
let's talk
of
about Ben's list first then.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but since this is how we got here, I'll start with the pit of is its ability says that if it has 30 HP or less left, you can search your deck for an unpheasant or unpheasant EX. And put it on top of the pit of. That can be turn one going first, slam risky ruins bench pit of. It's now an unpheasant. So you can do that instantly, and then the unpheasant that has been played with it. There's a couple other ones I personally think are worth looking at, but this is probably the best one. Its two attacks are 2 energy, 70 damage, and you can make your opponent put up to 2 energies on their active into their hand, and then 3 energy, 180. It's
Is there a
just
downside to that the second attack?
yeah, it's that it can't attack the next turn, but it does have free retreat.
Okay.
Nice.
And most of the time, the way you're attacking with that second attack is the triple or is the ignition energy. So it's not that big of a deal if
Hmm.
that happens.
Yeah.
It really is just another way for the deck to both it synergizes again with Diggersby and like the Risky Ruins. And it's a place to the deck playing both damage pump and damage mover. It's a good place to move the damage off of like a Squovit too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it gives you that with another big 180 punch.
Yeah. Does the pit of has like 50 HP, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not making your psychic matchup any better. That's for sure.
Well, it
No, but
will
hopefully, as soon
instantly
as you
evolve
put
it.
it into play, you're
You are
turning it into an
evolving it
unpheasant.
though.
Yeah.
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 Ideally.
That is true. That is true. You're not benching it unless you have like a damage mover in your hand. Mhm.
Yeah, there's no rare candy in this list. Its ability is the only way you're putting Unpheasant into play.
Mhm.
So you really are. I mean, I've seen it be benched really early just because you're then playing a draw supporter, and surely you'll find a way to do it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's not getting benched if you don't have a way to make it an Unpheasant.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I actually wanted to there's a couple so aside from the fact that Ben is playing on Pheasant and I'm not, Ben actually decided to cut the way we were playing this deck before was with like a Volkner and Lightning Energy to just have a way to search basics, get your attachments. But Ben decided to cut the Volkner and the basics. He's not playing any kind of, not playing Raihan, um, not playing any synergy with uh, basic energies. I thought that was really interesting, and I don't know if Gift Energy was in the deck before, but I really like the idea of that card. Um, going like attacking with that with the Diggersby, and honestly, attacking with anything. There's so many one energy attackers that can be applicable with the Dodrio, the Cramorant, um, just that protection from disruption because a lot of times as colorless like especially in the psychic matchup, a lot of your bench sitting draw guys are going to get targeted. So having like the protection with the gift energy, I really like that. It's an interesting idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. You get some spaces opened up. Before League, Ben was like had like a handful of like supporter cards and was like asking people like, what do I put in instead of this package that I'm cutting with the energies and the
Yeah,
Volkner and stuff. And so he had like a bunch of disruption cards and like a few consistency cards, and he was just like asking like, I know I don't want this, but I don't know what to throw in here. So
Yeah.
I don't know what he ultimately selected for that. I think it was a consistency piece.
He has his package of the disruption cards. He's got the enhanced hammer, reset stamp, lost vacuum, and Ben is not playing field blower in his deck. This is the
yes.
second week that Ben has cut field blower. Last week before league, we were sitting, and he like nudged me and like almost to like tell me a secret. He was like, "I cut a never cut card from my deck," and I'm like, so I pick up my clothes deck and I'm like, what are the never cut cards? And I looked at him and I was like, Van wrote them? And he was like, no, no, no.
That's a never card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never ever.
No, the field blower cut has been that's one of Andrew's favorite things. He's like, what if I just cut field blower from my deck?
The answer is you lose to games where you need field blower.
You lose
Yeah.
games against decks that
Which
play
happened,
Lux
which is
Bane.
what happened to Ben 2 weeks ago, and it's why
This
he
is
added
true.
in this lost vacuum.
I was gonna say
Vacuum.
he's got the lost vacuum in there.
I didn't get to talk to him about, but I had thought about when he'd mentioned how he'd cut field blower, and I'm like, well, if you don't feel like you need it for the stadium bumps, which makes sense, he's playing 4 stadiums. I feel like there's a lot of decks where Lost Vacuum or Field Blower just doesn't get that much value right now. Just the way they're being played with like, oh, there's a Muscle Band, maybe a Float Stone, and like a U-turn board. A lot of decks are moving to U-turn board.
Yeah.
And so I have been thinking about just playing Lost Vacuum over Field Blower in a couple decks because most decks, it's like, yeah, sometimes you need it as the stadium bump, but a lot of times it's like, well, this isn't doing much. I guess I'll use it on your float stone, even though you have a U-turn board on the
Yeah.
field. And just using it to get rid of the U-turn board is very strong.
Going back to my deck though, I didn't play field blower either. I also didn't play Lost Vacuum. So luckily I did not. I never got punished at any point during the night. I actually got like reverse punished for it because in my game against Winter there was like a really weird situation where Winter had put the U-turn board on Natu, and that just added to like I played a late game disruption supporter. I played an Iono late, I'm pretty sure, and it just added to it was just another piece that was needed. But like had I had like a field blower in my hand before that, or had I had like a field blower in my hand at any point, I like to think that I'm better than that. I would have.
I was gonna say I like to think you would have been a good enough player to see on a Delta plus Natu and said, that should stay right
let's
there.
Not let that thing get a chance.
But you didn't have an essentially dead card, and because there's nothing you wanted to field blower in that matchup. Then
that is
like
true. I had another dead card in my deck, Counter Catcher. I like was never going behind. All right,
go fast,
John,
don't look back.
John, talk about metal for the 15th
Dude,
time.
I don't want to talk about metal anymore. You know why? Okay, my main driver to like not play this deck at League, which hasn't been working because I keep playing this deck at League, is that I don't want to talk about metal again on the podcast. this is the same list that Andrew made a video about it. I've talked about it forever. Tony played it a week or two. Alex has been playing it too. Like,
yeah, I've been talking with John about it a lot.
We've been talking with it, and it's literally like all we're talking about is like changing like a couple of cards out, and like it feels like not like, oh, this needs to change about the deck. It's just like something that just feels bad in a particular week. Like, I didn't use this card this week, so it felt bad, and so
it's like, I opened only Lusamine every game.
Which I think we've come to the conclusion you can't. I don't think you can cut Lusamine. And even though it sucks to open it, I think Lusamine is just too important for this deck. But we did end up from previous lists, Hex Maniac, and in my list I had an E Hammer, were out, and I added back in the consistency of the Evo Soda, and then we got a Tate and Liza in there just for an additional switch out and a draw supporter. Alex has said over and over again, just wanting cards to play the game, and those cards do that.
I think the biggest change is that we've changed got the third disruption supporter in there over research, because like it just so often research ends up just being like, oh, I guess that'll be my discard for Cynthia and Caitlin because I have 4 cards I can't afford to discard in the middle of this game right now.
You have 3 recovery in this deck with the rods and the Night Stretcher, and like losing one of those to research it feels really bad.
You can afford it most games, but there's a lot of times where I end up having 2 of them in my hand, or like 2 of them and a metal saucer and like Versus Seeker, and I'm just like, okay, or like a skateboard without Jirachi on in play.
Yeah,
and it's like, well then.
I just like the conclusion that every person that plays this deck has come to is like, man, like everybody starts to question the same cards. Like, man, do we really need Lusamine? Do we really need Countercatcher? Like E-Hammer? Like, you just want more cards.
Not a single person has questioned Countercatcher.
No, Countercatchers.
No, that's not true.
That is very true.
My point is, though, you just want more cards to let you play the game.
But yeah. Most people do come to the conclusion of, man, I just want to play Pokemon.
Yeah. The issue also I do run into with this deck is like, I'd almost rather one of these consistency supporters, maybe like the Tate and Liza, be like a Pokegear or something. I just want another card I can play out of my hand when I'm trying to draw with Revavroom. I had so many games, like specifically like this last week, that was just my hand had like 5 supporters in it and like a couple other cards I couldn't play, and I just couldn't draw cards with Revavroom. So it's like you want the supporters in the early game.
Prism Tower.
Don't threaten me and Tony with a good time.
Tony wanting to put it in Wo-Chen of all decks.
Ben, if you're watching this, we held back and we did not put Prism Tower in the notable cards to talk about for this new set. So we behaved. But yeah, something to thin the hand a little bit, or I just find that it happens often. Like it's like Revavroom is your guy, your draw engine. If you can't draw cards, it just you kind of get stuck with some bad hands.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yep, that's all I got to say about Metal this week. So
yeah, Alex, you want to do a quick blurb on your deck? What did you play this Thursday?
I played Drago Box, just kick the tires on the deck. I've been playing Dragon a bit lately with Dwagons mostly, and said I'll kick the tires on Drago Box, see how that feels, and it felt about the same. The most interesting thing is I did try, and what's usually like the Luxurious Cape slot, I tried a Tool Jammer, because I've been having the idea that like Tool Jam can feel really strong, of just like, okay, here's a turn 2 Raging Bolt sniping 60 or 90, and also you can't use your retreat tools for your pivots.
Yeah.
Sounds like a really strong situation to be in. And while most of my games, one way or the other, ended up just being one person sets up an attacker and sweeps, Tool Jammer was a card that in a lot of my games I was either looking for and it was prized, or part of the sweeping in one of the games was I just went, okay, you slapped a floatstone on your active fat guy, Raging Bolt, Tool Jammer, Lost City, snipe around it, and they just couldn't move it.
Jesus.
So yeah,
specifically in Dragon, where you can snipe with something stuck in the active.
I want to explore with it more just in aggro decks in general, because even like Tool Jammer Okie Dokie take a knockout is like, if you don't have a free retreater on board, most energy acceleration in the format right now only goes to bench. Or like if it is active, it either is like a stage 2 or awkward in some way. So like it still is very strong. It's also another way to get rid of U-turn board. If the active has a U-turn board on it and you take a knockout with Tool Jammer, it does not go back.
Gets discarded. Yeah.
Yes.
That for sure seems like an underplayed card, because that effect is really strong.
Yeah, it's strong. It can make things awkward. It's a good field blower bait if you play any other card that you want to stick. So it's definitely something I'm going to look at trying more.
Yeah, no,
But
it's really cool
otherwise,
because you look at the way decks are built right now, and it's like
mhm.
every deck has like some reason their guy needs like you need a pivot, and decks are playing like at least two retreat tools, whether it be like air balloon and floatstone or floatstone and U-turn board, and so they're so reliant on needing to do that. And we've talked, Alex, like that's
Yeah.
these decks don't have pivots and stuff, so we
The
mentioned
retreat
dark
tools become
as
very important.
yeah, the retreat tools are super important in these decks, and we talked about an underutilized mechanic on like non two prize Pokemon, like the Russian ability, like being able to
Hmm.
like switch guys out. Like
Yeah.
Dark has that. That's something like Dark has that's like um, more unique than like other types don't have it. But like, yeah, I don't know. Those tools are just like so important, and like these decks don't really have ways to like. It's crazy that something as small as not being able to pivot is like can actually like mess up someone's game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it is. It really is just something. Yeah, tried it in Dragon. I'm gonna keep trying it in Dragon. I want to try it in some other decks. But yeah, otherwise, average Dragon experience.
average
Yeah.
Drago box experience, man. You gotta be
It's been.
you
It
We got
gotta
a
hasn't felt much
Dwagon's
different for
truther
me.
over
you
here.
gotta be enlightened to the way of the Dwagons.
I tried it.
Mhm.
Not trying it hard enough.
We'll see.
All right, that does it for our league recap from this past Thursday and the Thursday before that. Um, one thing we wanted to do with this 3K coming up, we wanted to mention a few of the most interesting cards that you might see in decks this weekend, sorry. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, we have a couple notable cards here that we wanted to mention. John, you want to take it away?
Yeah. So obviously probably the most talked about and most impactful card being released in the set to the Gym Leader Challenge format is that Deoxys with the Psy Spear attack. For 3 psychic, it does 120, and then if you have 2 extra energies attached, it can do 120 damage to a bench Pokemon. So as we've said before, Amazing Raya Raikou is back. This time with a little bit of different requirement instead of all the different energies. It's just requiring, those psychic energies. And there are many ways psychic has to get that number of energies onto that Pokemon. So it looks like the Oxus could be a real menace in the upcoming format in this 3K in particular. But yeah, a few others here. Just like it's like Deoxys, and then there's kind of like a drop off in the power
Yeah,
level
there is
of cards
there
here.
is definitely a drop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we have
So
some Crobat
yeah.
with its nighttime maneuvers ability. Once a turn, if it's active, you can stack a card on top of your deck, which does work. You can trade into it then with Liepard or set up a supporter for next turn. It's awkward in that it is a stage 2, it has to be active, and it has a retreat cost. Um, it's something to try. I've been a fan recently in Dark of the Drastic Draw, which draws 3 cards when you evolve into it. So I mean they're probably about as good as each other.
Mm.
I'd have to try it some more. We also, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I think this card stacking something gets me so excited with a card like Grimsley's Move that it just
Mm,
got. I really want to see someone do something cool with this. Tyranitar is the best, most statted out guy in Gym Leader Challenge. You just can't get into him in like any other way besides that Grimsley. So I think it'd be cool to see, someone bring Dark to the I mean, I'm really interested to see the Dark lists, I think, in
yeah,
this 3K more than anything else. Just like, I'm not like a believer in how well they're going to perform, but like, I think it's got some stuff that they can, pull off some really cool plays and get things set up.
I just like when we think about Dark as a type, like the only draw or like yeah, draw consistency, whatever, it just has Liepard. But this
Mhm.
seems like it pairs perfectly with the Liepard. So like I definitely not playing Dark for the 3K, but the Crobat has made me more excited about the type in general. Just because I think that while it is a stage 2, I think it adds power to the type. And
It
when
didn't
you're
have to be active. I'd feel so much
it
better
didn't
about
I
it.
like
Mhm.
I hate the stipulations like Alex said, like it is a stage 2 and it has a retreat cost and the ability can only be used when it's in the active. Um
Yeah.
but like it's better than nothing, you know what I mean? Like
I mean, I have really liked playing again the Jurassic Draw
yeah, the draw
Crobat
3.
just as like the burst draw 3. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you still play the goal
so
bat, you still play the draw 2 goal bat.
yeah, you still play the
Yeah.
draw 2 Golbat for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, as long
Yeah.
just put a U-turn
I
board
don't
on
know.
this guy as long as you're not
It's
playing
something
Tool Jammer, we're good.
I am excited to try it out more though.
That's exactly how I feel. I'm just excited to like potentially
Yeah.
like
Yeah. This is
think of a list.
this guy's kind of like really getting hit with the idea of like lost vacuum and tool jammer being played more. Like this guy's gonna
That's the last card
this
that
crow is gonna seem real bad when he comes out if that's what's going on in the format.
Yeah.
All right, next here we got this Ampharos, again a stage 2, and it has the Synchro Pulse ability that says if you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, attacks used by this Pokemon do 80 more damage. And then its Flashing Bolt attack does 140, and you cannot use it during your next turn. Um, Again, we're in a world where fighting is maybe the best deck in the format. If not, definitely the second best deck. So
Mhm.
kind of thinking about lightning almost seems not worth it. But when you kind of think about it a little bit more, like if you want to have counterplay into fighting, almost every lightning deck is going to be playing Flaffy. This guy evolves from
Mhm.
Flaffy, and this with Muscle Band or Electro Power lets you knock out a Okidogi. So it seems like a card that's like too strong to not play if you are set on playing Lightning.
Yeah, it's a
So
one card inclusion to a line that's already in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not that much to get it in
Yeah,
there.
it's also attacks for a Lightning and a Colorless. Like one, even if you're not hand matching 140 for 2, that's not horrible.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that can be enough.
a lot of times like Flaffy is like bench sit liability. So if you can just like quickly spawn it into a guy that is doing 220 for 2, like why not? You know, Alex, you're the resident lightning spread slash lightning in general expert.
so
What do you think of this
yeah.
guy?
Here's the biggest problem I have with that idea. Fighting routinely has hand sizes of 10 plus cards.
This
Lightning
is
gets
true.
4, maybe 5.
All right. Ignore the fighting sized elephant in the room.
Well, that's
How do you feel
what you
about the
just said
card?
was here. It's fine. The issue with cards like Ampharos or playing like an Electros is that Lightning's best draw support is Zebstrika. Discard your with its sprint ability, where you discard your hand to draw 4 cards. So playing extra evolutions that you're not always gonna want to put into play or only want in play at very specific times is really awkward and can make it really hard to it can really just gunk up hands where you're like, man, I have all my recovery and Ampharos that I know I'm gonna need this game.
Yeah.
When you can just like dedicate that slot to try and be another gust or push or something that you can, whether it be on a supporter or not, that you can just use later in the game to go around whatever you needed to knock out.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea. It's definitely something that like it's a solid card. It's by far the best Ampharos
100%.
of the Amphoroses that have been printed. Uh, I just the many games I've played with Lightning, 4 stage 1s has felt about the max that I am comfortable with putting of evolution Pokemon into the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Between
makes
the
sense.
consistency of finding Zebstrika and then just the cost that puts on you that using Zebstrika puts on the deck.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
What?
I was just like if we're in a world where fighting's not one of the top 3 decks, this guy's going in my lightning deck for sure. This guy's going
It
whether it's
just
spread or whatever. I'm putting this.
yeah,
If I'm
it
playing
just sucks
flash, I'm
that
putting
like
this
it's like,
guy.
oh, he is the answer to he is the answer to fighting, but then like Alex just brings up a very valid point that it like, oh well, not
And
quite.
that's
It's like
true
Yeah.
into like most decks. Like Psychic routinely gets really large hand sizes. Water will often end their turn by going Abyssal Hand to 5 and then take a knockout to 6.
Yeah.
And like unless you have exactly like letter or teammates, and don't need to play any of those cards, it can be really hard to match anything above like 5.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, the only time your hand size is getting above 5 is like if you're getting Iono to
Like it
6
means
or
you
if you're
have
playing
now you
Lilies.
do play. Don't get me wrong, the deck is gonna play all 3 disruption supporters, Iono, and Barney. And if you include the Sampharos, you might even find a slot for Judge. Um, but like the fact that it means that you most likely will have to play one of those into a lot of the good decks, is just tough.
Yeah.
Yo, is
Or
this a
even
Hugh
Hydro
moment?
Pump Water. The list we just showed, it'll also routinely go Abyssal Hand, take a prize, and also put 3 energy back into your hand with Kyogre.
Mm-hmm.
So so is this a Hugh moment? Not Judge, but Hugh.
You. Oh man.
Oh
If you're a
man,
deck that has small hand sizes and all your opponents have large hand sizes, do we put Hugh in with the Ampharos?
I would almost rather
Oof.
just play the hand clippers.
Let's move on to Quillfish, John.
Let's
Yeah,
move on to
okay.
Quillfish. I
Let's
like
move
that
on to
idea.
Quillfish.
This is kind of this is like one of your pet cards from this set, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the Quillfish. I think poison. This is like the last piece. I think Poison Dark. Poison Dark's been around for a while, but the last piece it needed to like be like a possible actual contender in the meta. Quillfish got the poison point ability. If it's damaged by an attack, you poison your opponent's Pokemon, and then Venoshock for 1 energy. If your opponent's Pokemon is poisoned, this attack does it does I can't read it 50 more damage,
50
so
more
80
damage, so
total.
80 total. Yeah.
Yeah. So it does 80 damage plus the poison, and then you've got a bunch of different damage modifiers with poison and dark. And you can just like I think the biggest draw to me with this card is like your the possibility of taking knockouts between turns, and also possibly with coming back into your turn, which is such a strong effect. And in my first thought was like, okay, that should probably be enough, but then we saw oh gosh, who was playing on stream with Andrew that played this poison deck?
That was Chucky.
Chucky, yeah, he played a version of the list that had a different throwback than the two we already talked about. The one with the bite
Critical
that
Bite.
does critical bite, does 30 damage anywhere on your opponent's field. And if you take a knockout, you take 2 extra prizes. So really strong, technically stronger than any of the ancient traits or
Yeah.
double attackers, or he uptrades hard.
One of the first
Um,
GLC leagues that I showed up to, I got
Mhm.
beat by that deck, and I thought it was the most absurd thing I had ever like laid my eyes on. Like I was
Yeah.
like, how is that legal?
It's crazy, dude. And so, like with these poison guys, if you do your math just right and you're not quite taking a knockout, you're taking 2 turns to do it. So you're attacking once with one of your poison guys, and then you're attacking with the Crobat. But over those 2 turns, you're taking 3 prizes. So,
Mm,
um, yeah, I think that's a really cool combo that Dark's getting. It makes me excited to experiment with the type again. So
Mhm.
yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah.
Whether you
Yeah,
want to
it's
play,
really good. I like the thing that it adds the poison deck of just another source of poison.
yeah,
I think is really important.
whether you want to
Mhm.
play a more traditional like Turbo Guzzlord build or this poison route, there's stuff to be excited with Dark, and
Mhm.
that's the best thing when cards come out is just like wanting to experiment with the types. Like the cards aren't always going to be good, but like if you could find the right combo, why not? You
Mhm.
know. I think we got a few more here. Yeah, we got a few more here. We got some trainers and energies. A couple metal cards here. We got the Philippe, which is just blacksmith, but for metal.
Yeah.
I can't think that this would be necessarily a very good card to go into the Arch Nemesis deck, but maybe a more turbo style um, metal deck like the ones that John was playing earlier on in the season. I could definitely see this
Mhm.
card going in. And we have the Magnet Metal Energy here, which is a special metal energy and just gives the metal Pokemon free retreat.
Mhm. Yeah, the Philippe is on its own. It's definitely a powerful card that can enable various attacks. The issue I think would be often finding a turn to play it. Um,
That
there's
makes
just a
sense.
lot. We were just talking about how the issue we have with the metal deck is you can end up with hands of just a ton of supporters,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and we were talking about how we just want to play the game.
Yeah, we could. This can
This
be
is
added to the list of just like supporters
another
that are
power
super
card.
powerful but absolutely useless when you open them.
They're just a little bit too situational.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's such a good like mid to late game card.
Mhm.
I like the idea of like it's acceleration where you don't have to have your like accelerators set up on board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just
but
a card that's like it's I obviously they're not designing for GLC, but it's like not at all what Metal needs. Metal has plenty of acceleration, like some of the best Pokemon in the pool. Some of the best
Mhm.
accelerators in the whole GLC pool
Mhm.
are Metal types. So
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
we got
Now,
yeah,
Magnet Metal Energy, that's just a good card.
that is just a good
it's a good
card.
card. It's
That'll go
good,
in
good,
every
solid
metal deck.
card.
That is probably going to go in
Every
every
metal deck
single
will
Metal
play
deck.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like at least every water deck that was playing Super Rod will play the Big Catch Net, which the Big
Hmm.
Catch Net lets you shuffle up to 3 water Pokemon and up to 3 basic water energy into your deck, so that it can recover up to 6 cards. So if you're playing either ordinary or super rod in your water deck, you're now playing Big Catch Net.
Yeah.
Yes, strictly an upgraded card.
Yeah.
And again, Alex said, it's specifically in decks that use those cards. A lot of Water's recovery, as we saw in like Hunter's list, like just the straightforward Hydro Pump list, is just wanting to get that energy back to hand so you can
Mhm.
immediately accelerate it without having to pull it out of the deck. So, but some lists like I'm not exactly sure if they do, but I would imagine the Lo-Fi Water, Seismitoad, just other various builds of Water might
Yeah.
enjoy seeing this. The decks that aren't playing the Rain Dance accelerators that don't need
Mm-hmm.
the energy in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Definitely a very powerful card.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of the first things we talked about this episode with Hunter's Wailord list was how the strategy of that deck has not changed one bit, and how it keeps getting just slight upgrades, like slight power cards, slight buffs,
Hmm.
and this is
Yeah.
just like another prime example of just a card that is strictly better than Super Rod or Ordinary Rod.
So, all right, that's the end of the
Whoa.
cards for the cards that we thought might kind of shift up the meta, like for the set coming out for the 3K. Do you think any of those type, aside from Psychic, because we already discussed that Psychic is like such a strong type, do you think any of those cards being released in this set specifically change how much a deck will be played or how good a deck will perform, how well a deck will perform at this 3K? Of the cards coming out in Chaos Rising, I guess.
If any of them do, I think it'll be Dark, with Crobat and or the Quillfish.
Hmm.
Uh,
I think yeah, I
I think it's more that Dark might see play because of the amount of Psychic someone expects.
yeah.
Hmm.
And if you do that, you're likely playing one of those 2 cards.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. You're
Yeah.
at least testing those 2 cards.
I mean, I would think that if you're gonna pull up and play Dark, that you're probably gonna play at least one or the other.
Yeah.
And
Very
then like if anybody's pulling up playing Arch Nemesis, like I can't. Philippe could go in the
Yeah,
deck,
you
but
find
again, it's like I don't
yeah.
think
But you play the energy
you
though.
play the energy for
But
sure.
yeah.
And then anybody playing any water deck for
Mhm.
sure
Yeah.
playing the big catch net. But like yeah, Deoxys is really the
Mhm.
hands down strongest card from the set. And
Hmm.
even at that, there's gonna be plenty of people playing Psyche to this event that are not playing the Deoxys because there is just an equally
It's
as
a
strong
lot.
way to play the deck, and it's a lot. Getting
Mhm.
5 energy onto your guy consistently, like that's. I mean, I know we talk all this about how Psychic is the best deck and um can do whatever it wants, but 5 energy is a lot. 5 energy is still quite a
Yeah.
commitment,
It's
and
still a whole lot. Yeah.
yeah, and like I'm just envisioning a week where I play this deck, or I'm playing this deck to 3K, and I like smooch him on my Deoxys, and it's like boss knockout. Like, okay, whatever. It's like Malamar attached to my Deoxys, Hariyama knockout. I'm like, that seems like not the like greatest strategy that I want to build into. Not when
It
there's
almost seems
already
it
crazy
almost
strong ways
seems
to
like
play
a
Psychic.
fair commitment. Like the commitment you're making to make the strategy work is equal to the outcome you're getting, like by powering
Yeah,
it
it
up and
is.
doing
Yeah,
that. And
for
it's
No, no,
like
it
sure.
is a very
and you want
strong. Yeah,
yeah, and you in GLC in any game, like you want to play, you're like, no, I want something that's stronger than like the effort that I'm putting into it. Like it almost feels too fair. Dare
Yeah,
I say?
it's
Like,
yeah. If you're putting like the only other thing that I can think of is like you're putting 4 energy on a 4 retreat 240 HP Whale Lord. Like
Mhm.
that's like a pretty fair trade off. I want to say like that's a lot of commitment. And
hmm
this seems like it's skewing in the opposite direction. Like it's not the type
it's
of
a little.
strong. It's not the type of strong
It's like
that it's
it is
portraying
very
itself
much.
as.
It is much more of a glass cannon type deal
Yes.
Yeah.
than Wailord is. If you put that 4 energy on there, you're getting some form of value out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
If
This
you
is
put
like
Yeah.
you could put 3 energy on
Amphibic,
this guy, and it's just sitting on your bench for 2 turns. It's like
yeah,
that doesn't excite me all that much, but
mhm.
um definitely will be people there playing it, and I'm sure that it will have a strong finish. I'm willing to bet that this deck there will be a Deoxys like in the top, if not the top 8, top 16 for sure.
Yeah. It is one of those cards that I do, and I kind of hope it does. I'd be excited to see it in Top Cut.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like the only card that in the set that I think has like the potential for a whole deck to be built around it. So it would be exciting
Oh,
to see
yes.
somebody
And I
pull
think it
up with
has
it.
to be. I don't think that any of the decks that people have been building with Psychic really lend to just like throwing a Deoxys in them and saying,
Yeah.
I can just find a Raihan patch turn, and do it in one turn. And it just doesn't. It just is asking for too much, I think, for like a Natu build to just slot it in and say, I might be able to do this. It's another option.
Yeah.
I do think it begs to be, if you're going to try and do it, build the deck around it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
For
and
sure.
then I wonder, if you're looking at, Brooks' list that we just had, like a really strong, consistent, and more importantly, flexible style of
Mhm.
play in the Monkey Dory blindside deck, are people going to want to shift to like a maybe more powerful but pretty straightforward, throw the energy on the Deoxys, you can see the play coming from a mile away, type of style of deck, or are they going to want to stick to something that won the last 3K and is still proving to be strong after one of its strongest stadiums was banned?
Yeah.
Because
It's
this new strategy isn't as impacted by the ban, and it never got to exist in the same space as Dimension Valley, but it's not it wouldn't be doing anything for Deoxys anyway.
Mhm.
um but yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people, I don't know what people are thinking, when
mm,
they're looking at this Deoxys card.
Yeah.
it's just something that I particularly dislike about it is that like you were mentioning how flexible like the not too blindside deck is. Um
Hmm.
when I put my Deoxys on the bench and immediately put 3 energies on it, I'm making the game so much easier for my opponent to play. Like they know exactly what I want to do, and
Yeah.
whether like you're playing not too blindside, like I could copycat what you just did. I could Iron Boulder hand match. I could set up Blacephalon damage. It's like you could go a million different ways, but this
Hmm.
kind of playing the Deoxys style kind of eliminates that kind of variety that you have, the options that you had.
hmm For
Yeah,
sure.
and it doesn't necessarily mean worse. It is just
Yeah,
less flexible. It's like
yeah,
less
Yeah, it's just
options. The strategy, like this one strategy, is really, really strong, and if you can pull it off, it's arguably better than the blindside strategy. Um, but it's just, can you do it? So
if you can find a build that can Deoxys twice in a game, like that deck is probably gonna win a lot of games. Like that, it's just getting to that point is is that the
Right.
commitment that you want to build to the deck?
But we can't read people's minds. We don't know what everyone's thinking, but we did make a few predictions ourselves. Like last time, we all tried to attempt to predict the top 8. Alex, Tony, myself, and we got a list from Ben, so we got all of our hats in the ring. This 3K. And we went ahead. We're not filling it out live. Again, we asked Ben his ahead of time, so we threw all ours on there ahead of time. A lot of purple and a lot of brown on this list.
Yeah, they are kind of just the top 2 decks.
Yeah.
But it's fine because they are fun. The games between them and mirror matches with them are fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I do enjoy the play the way that the decks do play against each
But
other.
it does lead to silly images like this one.
Yes. So, and those of you who cannot see the images, we do have our predictions for the top 8 up here. We have predicted, so there's no confusion this time. On the very left side column is our champion, and then there are 7 remaining decks that make up the rest of top 8.
Yes.
In there. So 8 total decks. Our champion on the far left there. So either you guys want to start us off and tell us why you picked what you picked?
Yeah, I'll go for it. I not making the same mistake I did last time. I went with water last time, and there wasn't a single water in top cut. I went with Psychic. Just tried and true. Like, you could ban D-Valley. You could give Fighting a million cards. Psychic is still Psychic. And, like, there's a chance that I'll be playing Psychic to the event. Like, I gotta believe in myself. But yeah, it's just... There's no deck that, like, I would be more comfortable playing than just pulling up and playing Psychic. So that's why I went ahead and picked it to win. And then here with my rest of my top 8, I have 4 total Psychics in the top 8. I got 3 more along with my winner. But I did show some love to Fighting. I got 3 Fighting as well. Even though last time there was 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was.
It was
Last
the most present type, right?
Yeah, last time it was exactly what you have, except for one of your Psychics would have been Fighting.
Yes, it was just reverse the Psychic and the Fighting. Yeah. And then I have the 1 grass in there just because I have to show love to my Terra Plume players. That deck is insanely broken, and I recognize that there's probably like 5 people in the whole world that could pilot that deck to a top 8 finish. And probably 3 to 5 of them will be in the room with us. So
yeah,
I do think at least one of them will convert.
Yeah, it's like I'm as Alex pointed out, you're one off from the last night. I think that's a safe top 8 pick considering how little we've talked about is changing, yes. In this set. Yeah. Other than the shift with Psychic and stuff, but yeah. Alex, what do you got?
I got Fighting winning. I very much understand saying Psychic. I just, on a personal level, don't want to say Psychic will win again. It's more not as much of a facts thing as it is a personal feelings thing, where it's like I enjoy playing Psychic, but the last 4 months that I've just been ramming these last 4 types I have into Psychic decks, I want something else to win, and I think the next best deck is Fighting. If not the best deck, I think they're really close, like 1A, 1B, for which deck is better. And then for the rest of my top 8, I filled out just 3 total Fighting, 2 Psychic. I put 2 water because I think that
that's bold.
There were a couple waters that were close last time. I think it just has to, shake a little differently. It's certainly possible. People have been looking at different things, some slightly different things for their builds of water. Yeah, and
let me ask you on a little bit deeper here, a deeper level here.
Yeah.
What do you think the 2 waters will be? Do you think they're both hydro pump? Do you think lo-fi water? What do you think?
I think it'll be like a classic hydro pump, and then something close to what Chucky actually played last time, where it's Milo Pump, except you take out Milo and a couple other cards, and had like Aqua Patch, Raihan, Counter Energy, Muscle Band, and the real big difference was that he was playing the Delta Plus Articuno,
Okay.
which he found value out of even without like a sniping TM, or like any of the TMs, by just most of the good decks have a small guy that sits on the bench for a lot of the game, and just at some point being able to like gust that up, put a muscle band on Articuno, uh, and like bank on flipping one heads out of the three, um, or clean up like Wishy Washy doesn't knock out an Iron Boulder, being able to clean that up. So yeah, just I think something. Yeah, I think a straight up Hydro Pump. I'm gonna put a whale in your face turn two, and something trying to use just Articuno.
Yeah, Articuno, one of the few ancient trait guys that like actually does some damage,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
because like the
not
the Natu only doing damage based on how much energy is
and
on your
it's 10.
opponent's
It's
Pokemon,
a
and it's a
multiplier of
10
10.
times multiplier. It's so minuscule.
Yeah.
But the Articuno, it's a 20 base, right? And then
It's
40
20
more
base,
for
flip 3 coins, 40 for each heads.
yeah. So it's like it doesn't necessarily need an enabler. The Articuno, which is it's definitely cool. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about how much the blindside deck hinges on Giratina doing its thing and Monkey doing its
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
cool.
that and then I've rounded out with a dragon. Just people like playing dragon, and people some good players. Like last time, the top placing dragon was Kevin Baxter. First time in a while he'd come to one of these old head dragon guy, and I think Andrew said he might be coming out to this one too. Uh, I'd be, and I I don't know. Dragon's just one of those decks that when I play it, I get frustrated, and then I look at a bunch of lists and I go, "Ooh, that looks fun."
Yeah. Hey,
um,
If Kevin Baxter is going to be at this event, somebody needs to hand that guy a Risky Ruins instead of a Team Magma's secret base.
but the swag.
No, we gotta get him optimized.
I think he had like a crosshatch one or
Probably,
something.
Ooh,
probably.
sick.
Yeah. Um,
All
yeah.
right. Well, I went ahead and also picked fighting as the winner. Again, I don't know where I stand on like the is it psychic, is it fighting? That's like the best deck. It really just kind of feels like it just depends on how the match plays out for the most part. It almost feels like in the mirror at least like a 50-50, but just in general into the field they just both feel like such strong decks. So went ahead and picked fighting as the champ. And then I should have flipped my logos around here, but two more fighting. So three fighting, a couple of psychics, um, and then one water. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like a Milo pump or a Hydro pump, some version of that. I don't know. The Articuno sounds cool. Um, maybe if he runs it back with that, he could end up making it in. And that would be sick. But um, yeah, one of those styles. I know Lo-Fi Water was close toward last 3K, but I'm not so sure on that. Uh, got a dragon in there as well. Um, I don't know. Honestly don't know what style I would imagine this would be.
Dragons,
I
dragon.
I don't know. Draco Box seems kind of like fast and hot. Like I don't know. Like it can take games. So maybe a Draco Box could be. And then just I went ahead and threw a metal in there. I've been playing metal for a while now. I really don't think I'm going to end up playing metal to
Here
the
he goes
3K.
talking about metal again.
But this might be a lightning type situation over again. If there aren't any medals that show up to the event, I'm
oh,
counting on
someone will
you
play.
metal heads out there to show up at least so I have a chance. Um, but yeah, I think and this is it's probably going to be an arch version of some kind. That feels like the best way to play metal
Yeah.
right now, arch nemesis style. So,
Mhm.
and then yeah, Tony, what did Ben pick?
We got Ben's predictions here. Ben predicted Psychic to win along with myself. And he's got 3 total psychics in the top 8, 2 more in addition to his winner. He's got only 2 fighting, so he's the person who went lightest on fighting. But Ben picked 2 grass, so he believes, I don't know, I'm gonna assume Terraplume. I don't think he's counting on any Wochien or Mega Boom decks to show up. So Ben, also out of us, the one that played Terraplume the most at League. Maybe he's gonna play Terraplume himself. I don't know. He knows something that we don't.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing when I saw 2 grass. I'm like, does he really think there's gonna be 2 Terraplumes?
He knows something
And
that
maybe
don't,
that makes
Sean.
sense. He thinks he's gonna be one of them.
Yes. And then to round out, he also went with 1 dragon. And I've talked with Ben a little bit about dragon. I think he likes the Baxter list a little bit more than Dwagons. Unless he thinks this is going to be Drago Box, which is equally as possible. Because I agree that deck is pretty slept on right now, I think. It's like always solid.
Yeah. Have just the aggression that dragon, like the aggro that dragon can put on,
Yeah.
will never be bad.
It just does it
So,
better
like,
than
it'll
almost
always-
every other deck.
Yeah.
All right, well that does it for our top 8 type predictions.
What's the wager this time, fellas?
The wager. We don't have
What's
Ben
the
here.
wager?
Are we gonna abstain Ben from this wager? It's just us 3.
No, he's just in it.
Okay, he's just in it.
Yeah,
He's just
he
in it.
doesn't get the choice.
Do we just repeat and do like a weekly buy-in,
I think so.
or do we
I
want to
think-
do something? Do you got something
That
else in
doesn't
mind?
work
Either
if
of you?
that doesn't work if I win, because I still have.
We have to split $5 3 ways. How's that even possible?
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna get messy.
Yeah, we could
I'm just gonna
just
hope that I win with my infinite free entry.
yeah, I was gonna say Alex's pool of store credit.
That's true.
It's not
What do
even
you?
store-
What?
I-
All right.
I have
Well,
0 stored credit. I just have free entry.
Oh,
from-
you have
What do
free
you?
entry
What do
for
you
the
want,
year,
Alex?
yeah.
What would be something that would be a
God.
nice prize?
All right, how about this? Alex. Okay. This is a strictly first and last kind of thing. If Alex wins, the person who comes in last, Alex gets to hand pick one specific card that person has to play on a Thursday night. Alex has to just hand them a card, and they have to play it in their deck.
All right. What do you think,
Ooh.
Alex?
I'm done.
Are you
I
are you
think-
willing to accept
I
the
think I
reward
like
of?
I think I like that just all around. Just whoever wins it.
Okay, we
Picks-
could.
Picks the last place
That
person's
just-
card.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has. Okay.
I think that's
we
just a
need
good base.
we need to add a little bit of rules here. You can't hand somebody like a Nessa if they're playing colorless. You gotta
Yeah, no.
You
gotta
have
hand
to give
them-
a reason and explain it to the group, like why
Yes.
this can
It-
actually make
It
sense.
has to
in
be a
this
type
deck.
applicable card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. Let's do that.
I like that's a really good idea.
that's very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Now we did our top 8 predictions. Let's go a little bit more broad here, and we have a tier list here. And we had a tier list that we did for the last 3K. I went ahead and tried to condense this one a little bit. We had a lot of decks in the last one. We have a lot of decks in this one too, but kind of we narrowed the field down here to stuff that we personally think we're going to see the most of. Now, if your deck that you're playing to this 3K is not on here, I apologize. This is not in any way a diss on whatever you think is good. This is just for pure entertainment value. The things that we think are most interesting are put onto this list. Do we want to go in any particular order here, or just start?
Just throw Fire and Fairy in the bottom.
Okay.
Just get that out of
All
the
right.
way.
Do we just want to get some
Let's-
baselines
Like,
here?
no hurt feelings, but
Yeah.
let's be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's where Fire was last time. It didn't get.
If you're brave
Anything
enough to bring them,
It's,
I love you.
Yeah. Honestly, all the
I
props in
hope
the
you're
world.
top cut.
All the props in
If
the
you're
world.
brave
to
enough
you.
to bring them, but I'm gonna be real.
Yeah. All right. Let's go with the deck that we actually just talked about. Let's go with Drago Box. Now, where do we think Drago Box is gonna land?
Uh,
Like a
gotta
solid
be.
B.
I was gonna say
I
top of B.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I'm inclined to do that. I was gonna say A tier, but it was definitely gonna be on the lower end of A tier. But I think for
yeah,
now we could just set it in top of B tier.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. Um, let's go with a full grip favorite. Let's go with the Diggersby deck. Now, undoubtedly a very powerful deck, but this is not the meta for it, definitely, with all the
No.
spreads shenanigans going around.
Yeah.
Um, now,
I would originally say C, but with I think
No, I think it's
well
solid.
into like a room. I think if psychics are going to be split, playing like a Deoxys build or a Blacephalon build, it's like the chance that you're playing a psychic that doesn't have Blacephalon in it
Well, the thing
puts it a
is,
little higher for me. If specifically for like 3K meta.
the
yeah.
thing is, I personally think Deoxys decks should be playing Blacephalon.
That's interesting. Like, if you're playing
Uh,
Deoxys
Okay,
and
so
Blacephalon, I mean, okay, but like,
so you think there's going to be more Blacephalon than I'm thinking in the room?
I think so.
Okay.
okay, okay,
Well then,
hear me out.
yeah,
What if we just tentatively put it in B? Because it is a B tier
I think
deck.
that's fine, even
yeah,
with the amount of Blacephalon
It's a
I'm
B tier
expecting,
deck, and
because
then if we
the
want to come
speed
back and
plus Lost
lower it,
City can win any game.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Boss Lost City, your Monkey Dory, like, that's pretty good.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Um,
What I want to know what happened to Tyrantrum. Between what
Tyrantrum.
like we there was a Tyrantrum in the top 8. Where are we
Yeah.
putting it now?
Honestly, man, are we just gonna put everything in B tier?
I was gonna say the issue of Tyrantrum that I have, at least with trying to place it here, is it still plays all the good fighting cards.
It
It
just
just
jams a
cuts like
Tyrantrum into there.
5 good cards for 2 fossils, Tyrantrum, and a candy.
So if it's most
Yeah.
comparable to Barbiama, I would say if it's got to be just like a little bit worse than Barbiama, wherever we put that, and I think
Honestly,
it's like A. Like I
I
think it's
like
going to end up
it's
like middle of A.
it's probably like A tier, to be honest with you.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like the question is like how much
Is Tyrantrum
worse?
worth it?
How like are you making your deck truly better or worse by putting the Tyrantrum in there? And I genuinely
I
don't know I don't know the answer to that question.
would argue worse, but just because like what 5 cards minimum that you're taking out of your
Yeah,
deck to put
it is 2 fossils,
2
Tyrantrum,
fossils,
candy.
yeah, minimum.
Yeah.
You might
Okay,
be
I'll ask you
also
guys
adding
this: the moment that you establish Tyrantrum on the field, is it a better deck?
Absolutely.
300
Is Tyrantrum that worth it? Like, is it such a presence in the deck that
it is really big.
it's big? And even without the ability, it's 180 without the ability. So
Yeah.
like, there's a lot. Like almost every deck's got Hex. There's I feel
Yeah.
like there's more hammers floating around, at least in our local meta now than
I
ever.
mean,
And
I think A is a safe spot.
yeah,
But I think that
Yeah.
eventually Barbiama, we have to put it over it.
it's gonna be over it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
for
it's
sure.
gonna be
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
sure.
I think I already know the 2 decks that I want to put in S.
I think I do too.
All right, pick one. Alex, pick one of them. Let's talk about it. Let's put an S tier up there. Help us.
Oh, not too blindside.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think
It's easy.
it's just
easy.
one. D Valley is a much bigger hit than a lot of people want to think. It's still just like it's so crazy.
It's
Like
too
there were so
good.
many games with the deck where you just didn't even need to use D Valley.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
the few times
So,
I've
like,
seen it being played or played against it, it's like it really didn't seem to like. It's definitely like
yeah,
hurt the deck,
it's
but
like
like they can still
it's
get that blind side off. Like,
it is a very notable pain, but
mhm.
like it's more in that it takes away the aggression the deck could still have, and like it makes some cards at like Giratina was already. I mean, obviously you didn't like starting it, but before you could go, okay, I've started Giratina, attach turn 1, attach turn 2, and find my D Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like you're still attacking turn 2, with probably the thing you wanted to attack with first anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
You just didn't get the first distortion door trigger.
Yeah, here's my thing with the deck. The D Valley ban I don't think makes this deck any worse. I think it just makes it less aggressive. But I don't think
Yeah.
that makes the deck any worse.
I don't think so. With the amount of comeback mechanics it plays.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like you can the second place list plays a get lost giraffe rig. You are like the deck is so good that you can purposefully take a turn off to disrupt your opponent because you know you're gonna take 2 prizes at some point during the game.
Yep.
True.
Like there's just it feels like there's so little that your opponent can do at any point in the game that will stop you from actually getting the blindside turn.
Yeah.
Like it like early game, late game, like you're gonna do it at least once. And that's just absurdly powerful.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Alright, we talked about the most broken deck in the format. Let's talk about the most fair deck in the format. Attacking Grass.
Yes. Dude, I was literally I was about to bring this up before you started talking.
B-tier deck of B tiers.
Oh, I was gonna say that as is it the B tier? Is it just like top of C?
I think it's like top of C.
Top of C.
For a long time I was really under the impression that like if this deck is if you're drawing hot with this deck, it has like one of the higher power outputs of the whole format. Like I think the deck is pretty good.
There's also the idea of Attacking Grass. Is this the Rilla?
I'm singing like Mega Boom.
Rillaboom, Meganium, or is it the Cherum?
It's
good guy attackers.
I would say Mega Boom.
Mega Boom.
That's fair.
But I think that those two decks are this could be proxy.
They probably are
those
about
decks.
the same.
Yeah.
I was thinking top of C tier, but I could definitely move it into B tier. I could be persuaded based on what you guys think.
I wouldn't hate seeing it in low B, but it's not going lower than the top of C.
It just it just takes like too crafted of a hand to pop off early.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have quite the oomph of a comeback mechanic as other decks do.
Yeah, like Torterra is like
good, but
it's not that guy. It's not that guy all the time.
Smallest thing that I think of as, oh god, that's really big. How do I hit it?
Yeah. And even like this, like no psychic deck is one shotting a Whale Lord like on its own, but like you could one shot a Torterra, just like Iron Bolt or Muscle Man.
Yeah.
One Monkey Dory, Iron Boulder,
yeah, stuff like that.
You can do it.
Yeah. It's so fair. It's so fair.
That's what I was saying. Like I looked at our tier list and I was like, talked about the most broken deck. Now let's just talk about the most fair deck. Like the double stage 2. Like if you get set up, like you got a good chance to win. But
triple stage 2.
A triple stage 2, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave it in top of C, but if that's one,
it can move a little bit if we need it to.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about a different type here. Let's talk about Lightning Spread.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's just do the one you've been hovering the last 2 picks that it's me.
Yeah, Alex, is there any spot in the meta for it right now at all?
It is purely not the right meta. The deck itself is very powerful.
Yeah,
it's just not the right meta. Like not to blindside forcing Mr. Mime into Monkey Dory decks, because there was a while where people were saying Monkey Dory is enough for spread. I don't need the bench barrier. I personally felt they were wrong, at least with Lightning Spread, but that's what everyone was doing. The moment both of them are in there, it just becomes really, really hard. It's that, and fighting. Well, the fighting's weird because it's like Marshadow and Ting Lu are the real pain points, because like you're already playing Silent Lab and stuff for Okidogi, and like also you're a spread deck. You don't care that much about if Okidogi takes 4 prizes.
Stuff is going to come up into the active and knock you out.
Yeah,
like, that's just
like you're not that worried about it. It really is just that it's. But it's probably is C.
That's what I was thinking.
It pains me to say it, but I think it's a better deck than C, but the way the meta
it's a victim of the meta.
Yeah, the way the meta shapes up.
Yeah. And it just has like
Yeah, and with the awkwardness that that the Zebstrika, as strong
Yeah.
as it is, can give you.
It's also just got like less counterplay into the stuff that counters it. Whereas like if you're playing fighting against colorless, like you have a lost city, you have like you could go faster, like you just don't really get that grace when you're playing lightning.
Yeah.
All right. How about dark? How about just regular traditional attacking dark, Guzzlord, Toxtricity, Spiritomb, stuff like that?
I don't.
I wanna s-
It feels like a B
I
with
was
all
gonna
the
say
psychic. I
it's like not that it super consistently beats Psychic, because Psychic is just that crazy. The D Valley ban helps with that, obviously. Like, very not gonna get the turn one boulders that you could get.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I think I'm
I
just
think
yeah
I think
B.
I'm chill with B tier, but like it's gonna be low B tier.
low B.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, like people could work the new Crobat in with the Golbat line. Like that might do something for the
yeah.
deck.
Yeah.
Giving it like a free
It's
search.
it's an issue. We've been talking about it for a few sets where all of its attackers are just Sun and Moon cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's
is the
it's so
way
sad.
to put it.
Mhm.
Um,
Like it feels like Dark has slowly but surely been kind of like going up a little bit
it's
because it's
slowly
getting a
getting cards,
piece. It's
but
getting a piece here and there, but
yeah,
like
getting the Chiyu
it's
next set.
it's getting zero like attackers with like oomph, like
Yeah,
that you really want to like
yeah,
buy
like the
into.
Chiyu's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah, like you're
Mhm.
not building your deck around the Chi.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah, you're probably adding it, but you're not. That's all you're doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
we've
I
been
think
talking about the Diggers Bee as the new hotness for colorless. Where's old Harambe sitting now?
Old Harambe. I gonna be honest with you, I haven't thought about this deck since the last 3K. So I can't tell
Same.
you where like
I personally, I haven't played it much since I got the badge with it. Although I did consider it for the last 3K. Um, Personally, I like it more than Diggersby because it doesn't sacrifice your psychic matchup.
I mean that's probably true by virtue of the
And
meta.
it's also even better than Diggersby at using Lost City because it has Pelipper to go get your Goose Hollow and stuff. It
Yeah.
also
Hmm.
plays the double to aggressively Lost Zone exactly what you want.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think the question is, does it crack A tier or not?
No, I think
I think it's really
I like Drago. I
close.
like Drago Box a little bit more than it.
Yeah.
Like I think
I have no
still
problem putting it
I
above
don't like. I
Diggersby.
definitely don't like it less than Drago. I
less
think
than
it's
Drago. You
way
want it in front of
worse.
Drago Box?
Absolutely,
Yeah, but
every day.
okay, but like is it
I
tier
guess.
jumping?
Probably not.
No, I'd say keep it.
Yeah.
It should probably
I
stay
like
in
I
B.
like this spot. I like this spot for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go to all reliable. Hydro pump.
Slap that in A
I
tier.
was gonna say,
Yeah, A.
is this the
That's a
Honestly,
solid
safest?
it's not
A.
I'm putting
moving.
it
Top
above
of A.
Tyrantrum.
Top of A.
Is
It's
this
Top of
top of
just
A.
A.
the
It's
safest
It's
probably
been
gonna
there
choice?
stay
since the
there.
inception of the format, and it's not
Yeah.
moving.
This deck has not moved. That Baxcalibur was just a Blastoise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly,
Yep. That
okay.
is.
Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, Alex. Do you have a thought on it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's just where water is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Let's go back to back. Let's do Milo Pump next because we kind of expected this at the last 3K to be like the premier way to play water. Um, but it turns out there was really no premier ways to play water.
Now, did we have very many people playing this at all in the last 3K?
I
Because
don't
like
know. I think
I know Chase played it.
Chase played it
Uh,
I'm gonna try and find the
and
answer to
again,
that
Chucky played
question.
the
kind of
sort of
like an adjacent deck. Yeah.
Frankenstein-ish Articuno version. I think
Uh,
there might have been one or two other people.
I think with Not Too Blindside being the best deck, um, I don't think it cracks A tier anymore. To be honest with you.
We had it in
Uh,
S.
Specifically the Milo version, I don't think.
Okay,
So.
there were
Yes, yes,
five. There were
specifically
five
Milo.
Milo pumps at the 3K, the last 3K.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
with I would say if we were to go with the version that Chucky played with the Articuno, I think I might. It definitely has a higher ceiling, I think, than Hydro Pump by virtue of playing in two packs.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah,
Articuno.
Is
Like
it?
it's
Are we
yeah.
going like low? Is it low A? Like
It
bottom A?
might be low A.
it's got a Wailord in it.
It's
It can't
probably
be
safer
bad.
to put it low A
It's
just because, yeah,
Yeah, honestly, yeah. If you
I
just
think any deck that's
just put the
competent that
Wailord
has
in.
a Wailord in it, I don't think can be like lower than A.
yeah, this is
When
true.
in doubt, Wailord.
Mm. All right. What about Wo Chien? Another one of Alex's special decks.
Oh yeah, I love that deck.
Yeah, where do you think that it goes here? And for this particular event? This also kind of just feels like a B tier deck to me. I think it's probably better than traditional grass still.
Yeah, it depends on how afraid you are of
Yeah.
hitting the control decks because it's got a really at least super awkward to bad matchup into any deck playing a mill card.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
Oh yikes. Well, but like,
you
what
probably got
control?
it
Like,
up there.
what are we worried about control wise? Like, 'cause I guess we've got
It's
like Drill
mostly
Mill and
the
Ursaluna, but like the
Terrapin.
Terraplunes.
Terraplune's
They're
not
not really
playing mill
playing
stuff
mill.
anymore, is
They
it?
are playing
It
a
wasn't,
shaman
but it
though.
can. It
Yeah.
can. We don't know that they won't.
That is true. And all the other
I
control
would,
decks
I
are
would,
playing
I would
mill
go under the
stuff.
impression that like they aren't, for the most part. I mean,
And you just made them all put them in their deck.
exactly, which is exactly what I wanted them to do,
Because
Alex. All right,
I'm
I know they're listening. I
yeah.
know
The
you
mind
Terraplane players
games
are
we're
listening.
playing here.
Just do exactly what I tell you, and you'll win the event. I've never picked up this deck in my entire life, so I don't know.
I've
I'm
watched
lying.
Michael Prieto play this deck 3 times, and
Yeah,
that's my
I've
experience.
played against Michael Prieto playing this deck like almost every week for the past 2 months.
Well, all right. I think B tier, but I don't want to put it above any of these decks.
That's
think-
yeah, that's fine.
I think
It
that's
might eventually be better than a B tier deck, but none of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we talked
I
about it.
mentioned the Ursaluna control as like one
Yeah.
of our control things. What do we? It's on the top right ish. Does fighting just kind of like it body this thing?
Probably suffers from the same like Tinglu / Marshadow issue, I would think.
Yeah, and it's just so easy for fighting to one shot Ursaluna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It like I like to think that Ursaluna can kind of get in there with like Lost City Okidogi or Lost City Tinglu or Lost City
Yeah,
Marshadow.
it has play. It's a control deck. Like control decks have play into
Yeah.
like pretty much everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just gets really tight to the point where you go, does it actually have play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I definitely
it can play to Dunsparce, but how important?
Yeah.
How much does that really change stuff?
Yeah. I watched Dylan play this
Yeah.
deck a pretty like decent amount, and he has his badge with it. And like I don't know if you have bench space for Dunsparce. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly. Like
True.
it's
Yeah.
a matter of both bench space and simulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Wo-Chien. I'd rather play Wo-Chien than this probably.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to put any. I'm inclined to put. I guess let's do the other control decks after this, but I'm inclined to put none of them lower than B tier. Because I do think they all kind of play. But it's just which one do you think is
I think
the
as a
best?
play, that's just by virtue of a lot of people coming to these events don't have much experience playing into control.
Yeah.
Also, just the pilots choosing to play the deck. It's like no one's like picking to play like, oh, this
Yeah,
might
you
be a
gotta be
fun way to play
you gotta be a
GLC. It's
control
like no,
setup
these
to
these
play
people know what they're
These
doing,
people like know the matchup
and they've
spread, I think.
handpicked these 60 cards, and they can
Yeah.
write a half-page paragraph on why each and every one of the cards is in the deck. Because I'm convinced
Unless
like
you're
control
Frank
players are just
Massey,
like
who I think has played Psychic Control to every
the
single one
smartest
of
people.
these and changed like 3 cards. I love you, Frank.
Shout out Frank.
Keep going. Yeah,
Yeah,
his
yeah,
all
man.
Japanese Psychic Control deck.
Yeah.
It's sick. I don't know that he's gone positive yet, but
Honestly, all right. Are we comfortable with this Ursaluna spot,
Oh, sorry.
or should we?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
we can leave it
All
there.
right. Let's go to the next control. Let's go Drill Mill.
Dromell's a really scary one.
I think Dromo is really scary. I think it is better than the other two traditional control decks,
I
being
think
like Ursaluna and Sableye.
I
I
think
think
like
so.
Terraplume and Dromel are the two like actually good control decks.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
if
I
any of them are going to be.
I
yeah.
don't think it's like an S tier, but like
I
is it
think
right
it goes
under
in
Hydro?
A. I think it goes in A.
Is it? Yeah,
It's like low A or really high B to me, but I'm pretty comfortable to put it in A.
under
Yeah,
Milo Pump. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then
definitely.
Sable Lock. Um,
Uh,
probably the weakest of the three.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
This kind of makes me want to have a deck lower than B. I don't know. Maybe.
I could put Sable Lock high C.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna play Sableye. Nobody. What?
Yeah,
Let me.
I
I'm
don't.
looking at.
It's like not only
I think
is
they were
it
like all attacking dark decks last time. I don't
yeah,
know
not only is
Like,
who's
it
gonna
yeah,
play
that's
this
it.
deck.
Like, even people who would fight us on saying it's a better deck than that, it's not the control deck they're going to play, so I don't
yeah,
believe,
that's what
I
I'm
don't
saying
care
is like
if it should
it's
be better.
it'll be the least played of the control decks, and it's also probably the worst. So it's like
Do we just cut? Is this just such a non-deck like present in the format that we just cut it from this list?
I still like to mention it because it is like a
Okay.
legit deck. Like I think
I'm like if no one's gonna play it, and like
I've played
I don't know.
I've played real games against Sable Lock.
I say that no one played Lightning last
Yeah.
3K,
I
so
still
we
think it's
can't.
worth
That's not a good
mentioning.
reason.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Now the big bad control deck, Terraplume. Am I slapping an S tier?
I'd probably put it in high A.
I'm good with
think?
high or bottom of S.
I think it's S tier.
I don't.
Alex, I think you're just a control hater.
Well, that's public information. That is not new. I don't know. There's a lot of games where I've just like you ask them what their game plan is into something, and their game plan is just have it.
I mean, the deck has it a lot.
Does it?
Yes. Okay,
I
John, what do you think?
No.
it's so weird. I don't know what I'm thinking right now because I kind of want it in bottom of S, but I also don't think it's better than Hydro Pump. But Hydro Pump also shouldn't be an S.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um,
It can.
I think it's
sit.
got to be top of A.
It
I
can
think it's
sit
got to be
top
top
of
of
A.
A because I almost want to put it below Hydro Pump.
It's like 1A, 1B with Hydro Pump.
Yeah.
Like they're both really close.
There's like a line at past Tyrantrum that's like double A.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that
What
feels
next?
fine.
About good old reliable turbo colorless. No tricks,
The
just
third best way to play colorless probably right now. So
probably
it's got to be
somewhere
lower
like
than
around
those guys.
somewhere around here.
I guess.
Below Wo-Chien? Maybe? I don't know. I
Below
played this deck
Wo-Chien?
for a while and it
And not having a two prize mechanic, I think, like Wo-Chen being able to make the comeback.
Yeah, that is
makes it a
true.
little better.
That is true.
Like having it
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that spot.
That's true.
Right next to Ursaluna and the fighting is killing me category.
Yeah, the countered by Ting Lu category.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Ting Lu, RDT.
Yeah, it's probably A.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
A. Is it? Where's it on one side or the other of Tyrantrum?
It's
maybe?
definitely on the left of Tyrantrum. I think it's still. It's still. What event did this win? Did this win Mega Evolution 3K?
Mega Evolution, yeah.
I think you could just pull up with those exact same. If somebody got into GLC and they were like, I only have money for 60 exact cards and I never want to change them, I think I would tell them to buy Ghouls' 60 exact cards from the Mega
That's a pretty
Evolution
good.
3K.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Yeah,
And just set them on that. I think all three of these top decks, 1A, 1B, 1C, really, really close.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
All right. Let's get the electric bombs deck up there.
Let's get the bombs.
It's
right there.
Is it better
Yeah.
or worse than lightning spread? Which side does it go on? Is it any better in the meta right now?
It's okay.
Does it
Honestly,
actually have a
in the
better
meta,
chance
it's
into fighting?
probably a little bit better.
It's probably a little better in the meta. It's
Yeah.
just like actually a worse deck.
It is
Like
probably
it plays better into the meta, but it's definitely not a better deck.
yeah, for sure
That's
not.
so funny.
Having
It's-
looking at where the lightning spread is on this tier list, like if you would have showed this to me when I first got on GLC, I would have thought you're crazy. Like, how could that deck ever be that bad?
It's not. It's just the rest
It's
of the
really
format.
not. It's just fighting. It's
It's
so
just
good.
the two good
You're
decks.
fighting in Monkey Dory.
Stupid Unitone.
Yeah. All right. Let's knock off. Let's get Deoxys in there. This one will be interesting.
Ooh.
It really would pain me to put a psychic deck lower than A.
Yeah.
So I'm inclined to put it pretty low A.
I guess that's fair. I was gonna say like top of B.
Yeah,
But it's just because like it is very straightforward and it's just so unproven.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like it could go like anywhere in A
Yeah.
But yeah,
right now. Maybe not anywhere, but
maybe this will be our last one in A tier probably since it's just so unproven. But like,
yeah,
you can't like
not
deny
that
it.
it necessarily deserves to be there, just that we don't know yet.
Yeah, you just yeah.
yeah.
All right. What about
Let's do
get our-
dragons.
Dragons?
Yeah,
I know my answer. It's probably gonna be different than your guys' answer.
We're probably gonna bring
I'm
you
gonna
down a
hear your
little
answer
bit there,
first.
buddy.
Yeah. This is an A tier deck for me.
really.
Yes.
Over.
Uh,
Well, if it's okay, do you say, Alex,
I have a
it's
hard
better than
time putting
Drago
it.
Box? Do you say it's better than Drago Box?
I think they're about as good as each other.
That's what I was almost gonna say.
I
Like,
think-
between Harambe and Drago Box in B.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
would you be bottom of A, Tony? Probably.
I would probably put it above Deoxys and maybe Dromil, but like yeah, I'd be. I could put it here.
I could put it
guess.
past.
Actually, let's put it at the top
I
of
could
B
put it past
tier.
Harambe. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's got the Sonic Slip. It's got a way to
It has the
take
two
a
prize,
turn, take an
yeah.
extra prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I'm not mad. I'm not as mad as I
Alright.
was last time.
Good. We made Tony happy.
Yeah.
Mission
All
mission
right.
accomplished.
Let's do Baxter Dragons. Just get all the dragons out.
Get the dragons out. Is this like
I
right
think
next?
I think it's right next to it to the left.
You think it's
I-
better?
Yeah.
I
Better?
think maybe, I don't know. I could see either way. But
I haven't
Baxter Dragons did place higher.
That is
refresh my
true.
memory. What's like the main difference between the Baxter Dragons? Is it
So
like, does it
he's
have Garchomp?
playing
Fast call versus
Fast Call.
Jet Cruise.
He's playing Fast Call and he has Ultra Necrozma in the list.
Yeah, it plays like Silent Lab Ultra.
okay.
Necrozma. And it plays like the applicable
like, there's
basic
no-
energy to also attack with Ultra.
Does it still
Necrozma.
plays the Turbo Blaze stuff?
No,
No.
because it doesn't play Jet Cruise Dragonite. It plays
Okay.
Yeah,
Fast call.
doesn't
Alright.
play Turn Blaze. And it
So
has
is it
like
just
the
like
old
Older
and it has the old
evolving
Drampa that does
dragons.
160 if you have damage on your bench.
Yeah, and it plays Team Magma Secret Base and Rainbow Energy and stuff to
Okay.
cheat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that they are honestly all four of these decks in B tier. Baxter Dragons, Dwagons, Harambe,
Yeah.
Drago Box, all super
Mhm.
all
Dragon's
really, really
just
close.
the most fair type of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think
Like
that
even its two prize mechanic is like so fake.
yeah.
Like the Garchomp as a
Can be.
two prize mechanic is
Yeah.
the fakest of them all.
It feels like a coin
It
flip
is,
sometimes.
yeah.
It's
Honestly,
like flip a
like-
coin.
Yeah.
If if heads, it's invincible.
God
If
forbid
tails,
your
your opponent
opponent-
gusts around it, escape ropes,
Honestly,
snipes something else on the bench.
The more reliable 2-for-1 in Dragon is just opening Raging Bolt Double Dragon. That's like a more
Yeah.
reliable 2-for-1 than
Absolutely.
Sonic Slip.
Or like anything double dragon.
Yeah.
Anything
yeah,
that can
that's
take
true.
a turn one knockout double
Rayquaza
dragon.
Double Dragon, Bolt Double Dragon. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get Lo-Fi Water at here. I think that this is like
Low B.
I say mid B. I would say
That's
mid
fair.
B. I give it a little bit more credit.
Maybe I think Diggers.
I think it's
Not
either
the
to the
meta.
left.
I think
or
it's
to the
better
right.
than Diggers being in the
doing
meta.
what Diggersby does, but like mostly worse.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I'll put it
it's
to the
just
right of
not it's just
Diggersby.
not
Put it.
setting up the damage on its own board. Like, I don't know, Diggersby is just like
Diggersby really says,
into
please, dear
Blacephalon.
God, don't play Blacephalon.
Yeah.
Right, and in a deck where upwards of maybe 30% of the room is playing Blacephalon, it makes me feel like it's a little bit better than Diggersby,
Yeah, maybe.
the lo-fi.
Okay. Okay. I'll move it. I'll move it to the left. If it'll let me. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right.
Arch Nemesis.
Go. Yeah.
This one's like this one's very interesting to me because
Yeah. I would go
I think
like
it could go A tier, to be honest with you.
low A, high B. It has gotten so before when it was not like secret, but before we played it,
Yeah.
you definitely got some free wins out of random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get those free wins, and also like the format just kind of randomly decided to start playing more evolutions. Like
Yeah.
a lot
And
of
it's not
people
like
weren't
it wasn't a
adding
reaction to
like
Arch
Yeah.
people weren't.
Nemesis either.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
No.
People just went, "Oh, but this evolution's actually just really good."
Like
And I also have an answer to Archaladon
yeah,
now.
like Hariyama is the
And
big
even
one I could think
and like
of.
it's still you still have play into those decks. Like you just have to be much more meticulous in crafting the board state.
You do.
And hope you don't take like you can't rely on an arch sweep.
Yeah.
Like I had games
No.
at the last 3K against Turbo Colorless where it was okay, you take your first 3 prizes and burn your escape rope. I'm gonna go Archaladon, Countercatcher, Lost City, your Dodrio, and you can no longer knock out my Archaladon.
Right.
Yeah. Do you guys think it cracks A tier or top of B tier?
I'm
pretty comfortable with either.
I'm comfortable with B.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. What about the Barbayama deck?
Is
That
that? Do we
was
have
the
another
good one.
S? Do we have
That's the
another
one.
S?
It's a second S.
Second S.
I think it's
behind,
probably an S
but
tier. Yeah.
I think it's
Hariyama is just disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick.
I'll put it in S tier.
Hariyama, Okidoki, and Soul Rock as like your core idea of the deck is just disgusting.
Yeah, you kind of lose the spread trade-off for the like ability to loop Okidogi. And you could make an argument both ways for which one's more powerful, and they're both powerful in their own situations. But I kind of have to give the edge to being able to loop Okidogi with not needing
that like
Rhydon.
the spread. Yeah, the spread stuff has just in the way it just works into the meta. The spread stuff isn't as good into like Natu and stuff, but then and even with like the game plan wasn't necessarily to use them into Psychic before, but that then means you just have a bunch of dead cards in your deck for arguably the most important matchup in the room.
True.
So yeah.
I think that these are the two S tier decks. I would argue Terra Plume could go up, but
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm right in the middle, but I'm pushing. I think I want to keep it pushed down at A.
Yeah, that's fair. That's honestly fair. All right, last but not least, Garbodor Psychic. This feels like
it's the Psychic deck that got hit the most by the D-Valley bait.
Yeah, but it also just feels like it will never leave like mid A.
Dude, so this is the deck I've been playing when I'm not playing it like for badges at Full Grip League, like fun games and like other leagues and stuff, and like it feels good. Alex, you and I had a really close game, and with you had a different style of Psychic deck. But it's like the damage pings and stuff. Like they can just get around it and like take out the Garb on like you can just shuffle on the Garb on a certain term, and it's so tough from there. But I think it is. I would think it's really good into like Barbayama. Like I think that's it seems like a pretty good if you can get your Garb set up. Like they're not hard. They're not gusting around. They've Barbayama's like cut a gust card for an ability based gust. Your acceleration in the Barbarical.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Do we think it's above like Tyrantrum Milo Pump or?
I think maybe. Yeah, that kind of feels good. Either
maybe.
maybe below Tyrantrum, but
Yeah,
That's fine.
I can mess with
Yeah.
this spot. Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right. There you have it. Our official Chaos Rising 3K
Yes.
tier list.
Chaos.
Undisputed correct opinions.
Yes.
No,
One of our predictions will be the top 8. Like
yeah,
that's 100% happening.
Yeah.
yes.
Someone's
Of
gonna have a
course.
perfect prediction.
hmm Yeah. Of course, we're joking. Again, sorry if your favorite deck's not on the list. Again, we just wanted to try to keep it a little bit more concise. And our tier list last time was crazy. It probably had like
3 times the size.
it probably had like 20 more decks than this had. To be
We
honest
spent
with you.
we probably spent at least a third longer than we did on
Yeah, we
this
spent
one
like
too.
another
So
hour,
hopefully we
probably.
saved you guys a little bit of pain of listening
Yeah.
to where some random deck you've never heard of
Yeah,
falls
where
on
some
our
deck
tier
that's
list.
just not going to be played.
Yeah, yeah,
So, yep,
Yeah.
it's the more competitive, sweaty side of GLC. This
Yeah.
is about as as serious as it gets. So
Mhm.
we just got the top ones up there this
Yeah.
time.
We still wanted to make sure we
But
mentioned something from each type, though. So
yeah,
Yeah.
just a
exactly.
little bit of
So that's
representation.
hence fairy and fire
Yeah, we
existing
Yeah.
in
got the
there.
fairy and fire in there.
But to kind of come down from that, we got a little bit of a palate cleanser for you all in the pitch black card reveals. We've been going over these the past few weeks, but they've just released the last batch of cards that are going to be coming out in this set. So we're going to go ahead and just go through some of those and give our thoughts and opinions on them. Starting off here, we've got Palkia Vis. I mean, Toucanon coming out for colorless. Toucanon, 150 HP, stage 2. Um, colorless Pokemon has the ability Sky Draw. Once during your turn, you may draw a card. Nice. For 1 energy, Feather Rondo, 60 plus, 20 damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Palkia V Stars attack for 1 energy. Really cool to see. You love to see the birds coming out in colorless right now with how much struggle it has with fighting,
It's
and this guy
exactly what
having
I was gonna bring up.
fighting resistance at 150 HP. Doesn't completely get you out of range of a damage manipulation, but this is a pretty statted card in its ability to attack and support the deck. Only I think being hindered by the fact that it is a stage 2.
Yeah, stage 2 with 150 HP. I wish it was bigger,
Mhm.
but everything else about it is like, yeah.
Yeah,
Colorless, stop drawing cards, please.
yeah.
Never.
I think there's like plenty of turbo colorless lists that are just playing like a Dodrio line. Cut one card and
Yeah.
just make it a Toucanon line. Like it's a
Well,
better
no, cut 3 cards and play both.
Or you could do that.
Hole.
Like cut the Chinchino line and play a Toucanon.
Yeah. I can see that.
This card like is for sure gonna see play. Another broken colorless card type that always gets from creatures. Yeah, just another statted card. We got the Silvally here as well, another colorless card. Definitely not as good, but probably still worth mentioning. It's got the Buddy Call ability. It says you can use this ability if you have no cards in your hand, and you search your deck for a supporter card, put it into your hand. And then it has Air Slash for 130 for 3 energy. This is another guy that can abuse the triple energies, and has a decent ability. I can't imagine that this is going to go in many decks, but colorless does have access to Squovit, so you could always reset your hand that way. What do you guys think? Do you think that this will find a place, or is kind of just more of a gimmick?
I was just going to mention the Squovit. Yeah, there definitely is synergy there because, like, your hand is empty, but like all of a sudden, as long as you Squovit into a playable card that's like not a supporter, obviously, you can like it's buddy catch, and you put it directly in your hand. Yeah, it's buddy catch on a stage 1 in colorless. So like, that's pretty cool. We've got it's not this is just once during your turn and you can use it multiple times, but like we've already got like Pelipper that does a similar like search of your deck, but it's a little bit more versatile searching your deck or discard pile. So I could see people trying it, but I think ultimate at a glance, I think Pelipper is probably like a better stage 1 to do this effect with. It does more damage for an attack at
Yeah.
130.
Yeah. Just the empty hand thing really turns me off on the card.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
It does seem just
but
like a
we'll
little bit
see.
more of a gimmick. Certainly not the worst card you could play in your list. Like, again, worth mentioning. Because it is a powerful
Yeah.
ability. Just you got to fill the
Absolutely,
stipulation.
yeah. It's a powerful ability, worth testing. But I'm not super excited about it.
Yeah.
Then we have this Miraidon that I think not good, but Tony thought was worth putting here.
Listen,
Yeah,
I think it's worth it.
Its photon code ability is essentially wishful baton. When it gets knocked out, you can move 2 basic lightning back to something on your bench. Its attack is 2 lightning energy, 90 damage, and 30 to itself, and that's it. My thought process is if I wanted to attack for 2 energy and knock out the active, I'm going to attack with a Thunderous. If I want to attack for 90 damage, I'm going to attack with a Zapdos. uh, and if I want that effect on the ability, I probably don't. Because this is the deck that has Dynamotor, so you
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
care that much if energy goes to the discard.
Yeah.
Listen, I'd be with you, Tony, on this one if it didn't stipulate that it was basic energy. If you could like pop that electrode that pops 2 energy onto
And then
this to
pass
like
that back.
early attack with this, and then that gets pushed back, and then like you're playing like a build
Yeah.
that doesn't play like the Dynamotors, it's the like the bombs build.
Or if it
It'd be
did
kind of
like
cool.
yeah, or if it did like 30 more damage and didn't have an ability, I would be more I would
Yeah.
like this card.
I just thought like
Because the thing for me, Greens has just felt very powerful in Lightning.
greens is good, yeah.
To the point where also having an ability that isn't like a blockbuster ability makes it really hard for me to want it.
Mm-hmm. My line of thinking was like, you mentioned the Thunderous, and of course you have Zapdos, but like neither of those guys are attacking again. I guess you could say the Thunderous is attacking again, but it's gonna knock itself out. And you need to do work with the.
I mean, this guy's
Zapdos.
attacking again, but he's not taking a knockout.
Why not? He's
That's
knocking
true.
out evolving basics.
He's doing
Like this
Yeah,
is
they're
a
not
really
putting
it's definitely a
another-
push the advantage in the early game card.
It
as
just
opposed
like
to,
it just like has it. The card just has like really good upside. I think it's like
it's kind of like there was a card we were talking about in Dark. I think maybe that was coming out the other day. That was like we were like, well, we could use this instead of Hoopa because then you don't have to like constantly reset the Hoopa. But I don't know if this card like fits that sort of bill because it's like it is staying active. It's not dying. It's not knocking itself out. It can attack next turn, but like for 90.
Also,
Which we got to acknowledge the bolty lightning energy in the room here next to it. We do have lightning is getting a card that does boost the damage. So Alex, you're asking for more damage on this card. Lightning has strong energy now.
More damage than that.
It does have to be more damage than that, but we do need to acknowledge that there is a way to boost the damage of this attack. You know, with this card, with the lightning's getting now. So
something else I think we should mention is that this is a lightning type Pokemon, and lightning is one of the worst weaknesses to have. Well, lightning is one of the worst weaknesses for another Pokemon type to have. It's one of the most like overrepresented weaknesses. So like
that's very true.
90 is like if you're playing against any or a lot of water decks, if you're playing against some colorless decks, like you're gonna the 90 is gonna double. It's I think this guy's got really good early game upside.
For sure, that's can't deny that. I just don't know if it's going to be good much past that.
Don't know
Yes.
That's I agree with that, but
That's fine. All right, let's move on. All right, we got the Marshadow for 1 energy, does 30 for each of the energy in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. John mentioned this earlier with like maybe getting in there with like a Galar Mine or like a what's the gemstone that
Gravity Gemstone.
That increases retreat cost by
cost
1.
both actives by 1.
Retreat cost by both actives, yes. Just like a cute little guy here that can maybe get in there for some damage.
Yeah. listen, if your opponent has 1 retreat costs and you Goose Hollow for that tool and the stadium, you're 120 for an energy. Like you always got to look at the guys who poke for 1 energy and can do a decent amount of damage. And so I don't know if it'll necessarily see play in Psychic List, but like
And
it is an option that Psychic has to poke hard early, which it doesn't right now.
It's especially notable because this new optimal Whalmer that we're about to talk about, we're getting a second 130 HP Whalmer. Its attack, while the other one's is 3 colorless for 60, this one is 3 water for 80, so that's a bit better. But it's notable in this exact conversation because the old one had 3 retreat, and this one has 4. So you only need 1 damage buff for retreat cost booster for this Marshadow to one-shot this Whalmer.
Yeah.
Which matters. It very much can matter if this Marshadow becomes played.
It's definitely like a niche type of thing, but like
it's very niche.
It's not a reason. Well, not even because like there's just some heavier basics sometimes. Like it's like you've got this whale where you could start like Wishy Washy. Fighting could start like Binnacle, which has 2 retreat cost, and so like that's boosting the damage. You only need the tool then to be able to do 90 to like knock it out early. So it's not just like the
and
1
like
retreat guys.
And like we were talking about with Tool Jammer earlier, the tool can make pivots awkward.
Yes. Yeah, it's doing a similar thing that Tool Jammer does.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a card that I think it's interesting to see how far people will go trying to build around it. Because like John said, the 1 energy poke that can scale to very relevant numbers is definitely something to be interested by.
There's just worlds where you could Goose Hollow for a donk. Like that's pretty good. That's always good. I mean, that's good in fighting. That's good in colorless. Like other decks that could do that.
Yeah, you can't with D Valley gone. There's really no way to do it in Psychic anymore. So here you go, Marshadow. We did also
you just have to open the patch.
Right. We did also get you might have seen these reveals, this Ghost Veil ability that's Standard is getting, where it's like a similar to the Lost Zone mechanic, the Night March, Lost March, like getting your guys in the discard pile or Lost Zone. Unfortunately, all of them are completely unplayable in GLC because of you need multiple of these guys, and there aren't enough of the same type that have the ability that any of them can launch one of their attacks that require Ghost Veil Pokemon to be in the discard pile.
If we get another stage 1 Psychic line ever, because they love printing support for these types of decks. If we get another Psychic line, though, the Delmise that's not on here is very much worth looking at, because the Delmise is 1 energy, 30 damage. If you have at least 4 Ghost Veil Pokemon in your discard, it does 170 for 1.
Yeah.
And it's very possible that could happen too, because the ghosts are psychic Pokemon. So
yes, and this Banette is like not the worst thing if you start.
Tell us what it does, Alex.
It has obviously the Ghost availability. All the small guys have this. It's not affected by effects of attacks or abilities, so you can't Monkey Dory to it. You can't hit it with Blacephalon. It doesn't get those it wouldn't get confused by a Monkey Dory. It's immune to all those things, and then it has Doll Catch, 1 Psychic, and it does 80 damage, and you get to search your deck for any 1 card, which is not worth putting in a deck on its own. But like I was just talking about, if we get another stage 1 line, I'm not mad to be putting that in a deck to be able to enable Delmise.
Yeah.
Right.
I
mean, it is just like you said, you don't want to put it on a deck on its own like that. Again, it's like the whole thing with the Miraidon. You are knocking out like evolving basics and getting to search for a card to set up. Combined with like it's got what are the Shuppets we've got? We've got the Blast Shuppet that like removes a special energy. So it's like you can go turn 1, remove an energy, and then Ghost Catch the next turn. So it's like a little bit of a setup line.
I mean, I don't know. If I was the issue with that is there's already a Banette that's like a good 1 energy attacker. It works It's exactly like the Frostlass that
Yeah, the
John
single
you've played a
strike
lot
Venat.
in the Seismitoad, where
Yeah, it
it's
does.
you put damage counters on itself to do more damage. So like if I want a 1 energy attacker stage 1, there's already a Banette to play. Like, yeah. I
I
don't
mean,
know. It's not a bad
this
card.
guy's just
It's
cute.
just
Like he's all right.
it's just cute, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We already talked about this Whalmer here, but we have this Primarina.
I before we move on, I
Yeah.
do need to highlight this art is S tier.
Art on the Whalmer.
Godly. Yeah, this
Yeah.
Whalmer art, yeah.
Yes.
That is very
Uh,
good. I like the yarn.
Asaka Ito is the artist. They do all the crochet guys. I collect them personally. They are my favorite artist, and so I'm very happy that the optimal Whalmer is an Asaka Ito card.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get to look at
Yeah.
it every time I play Water now.
Yeah, he's nice. I like him a lot. All right, moving on. We got the Primarina over here, stage 2, and it's got the Max Melody ability. It says you may use this ability once during your turn when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon. Heal all damage from one of your Pokemon. You played this card.
Yeah.
Okay, so when when you evolve the
Yes.
Primarina. Okay.
Yes.
And then it's got Aqua Return for 2 energy, 120, and it bounces the Primarina and its pre-evolutions back into your hand.
And the energy, yeah.
And the energy, of course, yes. This honestly seems, I mean, it is a stage 2, but
Yeah. But it's a very powerful ability.
yes, when you
fully healing a Wailord
yeah.
is a lot, and the fact that you can reuse it just by virtue of its own attack, like 120 is taking a lot of knockouts.
I mean, that's what
Right.
Inteleon swings for, like, and that's getting it.
Yeah.
You're attacking with Inteleon like almost every game in Water, it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 120 is taking a lot of knockouts. You can push like a wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry.
Yeah, it just I get it is still it's a stage 2 that doesn't have a stage 1 worth playing. So
Yeah.
like it's going to be tough to find space for it. Also a lot of people that enjoy this effect, I feel like will be trying to make the Aurorus from last set
Yeah.
from last set
It is
work.
kind of similar, like, strategy.
To just tank and take less. And I don't think you can afford to play both of them
Definitely
in the
not.
same deck necessarily. But I don't know. It's a strong card for sure.
Yeah.
That I hope someone messes with.
Yeah, I like this ability,
Yeah.
but like I feel like Milo Pump kind of already does this, like Milotic for
Just
Milolana or Lux Cape or you know, like anything of the sort. Like and if this there's a world where this Primarina like does it better, but like I'm just inclined to think that the Milotic is kind of filling that purpose already. But I don't hate it.
All right. Next up we got we mentioned a lot of Darks attackers are yellow borders. Here's a silver border at least in this Mabastiff. Has the deriving headbutt attack 210 during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 100 extra damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon, which is crazy.
I don't know if I've ever seen that effect on a Pokemon before.
But I know I don't recall ever seeing it either. But like
I think it's I feel like I've seen it somewhere.
Yeah. But 210, I think that's the most just flat damage we have in Dark right now. So I mean, it's a number that we can buff to be able to hit the 230 for the Dogi, and maybe do something else to get a whale.
It's possible. I think with Muscle Band and Dark has a couple stadiums that buff by 10.
Oh yeah, the dragon, the
whale.
valley that's
Chaos Valley.
The dragon too.
Ravaged, was it Ravaged Field and the Chaos Valley?
Yeah. So yeah, you can get Mabastiff is just I mean he's only got 140 HP, so like the 110 extra damage next turn, it's kind of like
this guy's
sure.
I expected him to get knocked out anyways.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! But wait, this guy could get Natu, and that would suck.
That's what I was thinking. It's like
This guy could get
it's like
Natu.
this effect
Holy
shouldn't
cow.
matter, but also you're
Yeah.
probably gonna get
Oh,
Natu next.
But you're also dark, and you shouldn't
he
be
can't-
attacking with Mabostiff.
Well,
Yeah.
he
In that
can't
match.
get Natu'd unless he already has damage on him. Natu will hit for 130. Now he's probably gonna have damage on it from toxicity or like.
That's what I'm saying. You can throw the muscle band, like a muscle band,
Wait,
on there or
is
something.
Natu's not
Yeah.
10 plus? Is 10 times?
It's 10 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm on a GLC podcast. And I didn't know
Now saying that, they're gonna find a way for Natu to knock this thing
that.
out.
They're just gonna blindside the active. Like,
Yeah.
but like your Spiritomb on the bench could also get
Alright,
blindsided.
but
like,
okay, here's the thing: if you're playing against Psychic, you're just gonna use Bite. You're just gonna bite.
Okay,
the first
that's-
attack for
that's-
2 energy does 60
You know what?
damage.
That's
You
true.
s-
Don't use diving headbutt in Psychic. Is
You're
the
so
lesson here.
right.
You're actually correct about that.
You know what? That math checks out.
You know, they say the developers don't think about GLC when they're making cards,
they
but
do.
I mean, the
secretly
Mabostiff buffs out nicely in the Natu
Yeah.
matchup.
Okay. Next we have this Skarmory, another early attacker for metal that is way too demanding, I think. But its attack is 1 metal steel cutter, 40 damage for you can discard up to 2 basic metal energy from your hand and do 40 damage per discarded energy. It's another in the vein of the Skarmory that needs a tool on it to do 50 for 1, or the Zacian that does 20 plus 10 for every Pokemon you have benched for 1. Where it's in that same vein of just an early 1 energy attacker for metal that I think is just a bit too awkward to really do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were going back and forth about this one before the podcast started, and we were listing off all the early game metal guys. Like, you got this Skarmory, you got Iron Crown, you got the Zacian, and it's like they're all 3 decent, but they're so awkward in their unique ways. They're so awkward in their own ways that it's like you look at other types, like Fighting has a 70 for 1, Colorless has a 70 for 1. Like, they're so terrified to print.
Psychic might have a whole lot for 1 now.
Psychic has a bunch of stuff. Like, they're so afraid to print that effect for metal for some reason that they just make all of the early game guys so awkward in different ways.
Interesting. Lastly, we've got the Armarouge here. I clicked on this. I misread it at first, and so it's not as good originally as I thought it was. For 1 energy, though, it has the Flame Legion. 40 plus does 40 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon that have any fire energy attached to it. I thought it included itself, which would have made this a base of 80 essentially, and then buffed by 40 for each bench. But like, it's not terrible. 40 plus. If you have like a couple of guys with energy, you can be hitting 120 for 1, and you know, depending on what your Fire's got a lot of acceleration to get the energy onto the bench guys.
Fire's got
You
a
know,
low bump.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
got, you know,
Yeah, it does have a
Magma
pretty low
Basin,
bar.
all the supporters, got the Embor. So this guy can hit big numbers. What full bench is, and if you Emboard something onto all of them, you can hit for
200,
2
I
hundo.
believe.
240.
Or is it 40?
Oh, 240 because plus
Yeah.
the active. So,
So that's
yeah.
Wailord. Yeah, that's
That's
Wailord. Numbers,
Wailord.
but
Yeah. I
that's
mean,
a very complicated Wailord answer.
yeah, when we're talking
Yeah.
about fire as a type, like, this definitely is pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. This is like all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's because a lot of the things you'd play to like enable it also enable as a Wailord answer just putting 4 energy on a Reshiram.
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So
I don't know. It can't. It's easier to use than Reshiram when you don't need 240. But I don't know. It's still a red card. So
yeah, not
It's
great.
still a red card.
Not great, but in fire, in standards of fire, it's all right. It's all right. All right. Moving on to our last cards here. We've got some trainers. Started off with the Rust Syndicate Grunt. Says you can only play this card if one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. Discard 1 energy to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This just has control written all over it. This is going to be a part of some Lieutenant Surge loop and some control deck in GLC for sure.
Did you forget the first line of text that you read on that card?
What? Yeah,
One
one
of
of your
your
Pokemon was
Pokemon has.
knocked out.
Yeah, gotta get knocked out.
Yeah, what loop are you doing where you're constantly giving up a prize?
Well, I'm not, I mean,
What?
it's okay, not a true loop, I guess.
Yeah.
So the thing is, okay, so the real thing is here, we already have just so many effects in the format that can like do this.
Yeah.
We have
that's true.
Plumeria, which is the same effect, but instead of
Just discard 2.
needing a Pokemon to be knocked out last turn, you just discard 2 cards. We have what is it? It's one of the grunts. It's
Flare
the-
Grunt.
it's
I think
the-
it's Flare Grunt.
Flare, yeah, we have Flare Grunt, which is only from active. We have Enhanced Hammer for special energies. It's probably even better to just play like Crushing Hammer than this card. If you're that far, like if you're that far down and looking for effects that discard energies, it's probably just better to play at that point Crushing Hammer than another supporter. It's a powerful effect. It's just gonna see a lot more standard experimentation, I think, than GLC. With
That's
the
fair.
restriction of
That's
your
fair.
opponent.
I didn't think about the fact that Plumeria and Flare Ground and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we just already have such better
Mhm.
options. Then we'll go on to Tony's favorite misreading card for this set. We've all
Yeah.
read cards wrong. When I first read that Armor Rouge, I thought it counted both benches.
Crazy.
Yeah. So here we have Gladian's Decisive Battle, which you can only play if it's the last card in your hand. And then it is your non-rule box Pokemon do 80 more damage to your opponent's active. Which is still a lot of damage. So if you do ever make the Silvally work, I would the idea of Rotom hitting for 150 is very enticing.
That's what I was thinking. Like, what if you open the set? What if you just fan Rotom for Squovit? Or, I mean, you bench your other guys, whatever.
Yeah.
Bench your other basics,
And
fan
just
Rotom for Squovit. Just
Squovit
play this card
into
out of your
one.
hand and Squovit into a playable. You're donking for 150. Like, that's insane.
It is, yeah, no, it's like 80 damage is a lot. So there's a chance that, like, especially Colors might try and make it work.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
It's just that the last card in your hand is such a tough restriction for cards.
yeah, it really is.
I'd go crazy if Bunnelby had a damaging attack.
Yes.
That would be pretty crazy, yeah.
Instead, it can now Crisis Punch for 360.
Yes, because that's what it needed. Crisis Punch wasn't doing enough damage in the colorless
two
deck.
luxurious caped Wailords.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
What every
'Cause they-
GLC DC
Because
deck
they can
needs
have
to
a
do.
backup one on their bench.
Yeah, just in case they play the second Wailord.
And they promote it.
We're laughing, but they're gonna like what Generation 10, they're gonna make another. They could just make another giant crazy fish Pokemon that also has like massive HP, and so we literally have a second
we
Wailord.
just got Dozo, which has a couple almost interesting
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
I remember the week when the Journey Together Wailord got revealed, like literally that exact week before, we had all decided that evolving into the old Vivid Voltage Wailord just wasn't quite enough. So we all tested getting the slot back for like either an HP buff tool or more consistency, and the Dondozo that hits 180 for 5 energy. And we were liking it, and then they revealed the Wailord, and we went, nope.
Yeah. That card's
Back to the
Okay.
whale.
That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Wailords here, if you want to power up your Wailmer turn 1 going second, we've got Misty's Energy here. If you play this card, your turn ends. However, search your deck for up to 4 basic water energies and attach them to one of your Pokemon. So Kiawe has existed in the Fire card pool since the Sun and Moon era. We've now got it for water, which is a much better type to have this sort of effect in when you've got those massive energy cost attackers such as the Wailord. Wishy-Washy, Kyogre, that sort of thing. This gives Water a chance to establish these attackers before getting their Frigibacks and Snom, that's it, Snom into play. So I don't know. I personally feel a little torn on this card because like it is really good early, but like it ends your turn, so you're not playing a
It-
supporter to set up your deck, and you're not using Basculin or Vulpix. Like I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a powerful effect. It plays better than Kiawe because you have a Wailord to accelerate to.
Yeah.
I just think that like your prizes have to be like so bad for it to be better than just like playing Gladian and fixing your prizes and taking an extra turn to set up your Wailord.
Also,
I
this card this would feel so bad to see like after turn 1 or 2.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like Gladian, as long as you have prize cards, I'm fine if Gladian's my only
Yeah.
I
supporter.
I think I like this card a little bit more than you guys, but I like it in like the hybrid style decks that
That is probably the deck it would find its
yeah,
best
like
home.
early on in the season I was playing like the low
Yeah,
energy
when you
water
got your
guys,
badge.
and I had the Wailord in there too, and
Mhm.
Frostmoth, but like
Mhm.
this card would go perfectly in that deck. And like what if like these like Lost Zone water decks, like the lo-fi water decks, like they could also just play a Wailord line and play this card, which like I mean that's
Just
asking
throw
a
it in there.
lot. It's asking a lot,
Yeah.
but like water has a lot of really good efficient attackers. And if you could just like throw a Wailord in there, like cherry on top, not having to play an accelerator, and you could
Mhm.
even play stuff like reversal energy, counter energy, patch. Like even if you're not playing the Missy's energy, like you could spawn your Wailord eventually. Um, I don't hate it. I think it's all right.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot closer to being good than Kiawe.
Definitely, just by virtue of the water cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have last card here, Retry Badge, which is basically just Trick Coin, but only for colorless Pokemon. Uh, which is yeah, just once a turn, if you flip any coins for an attack of a colorless Pokemon, you can reflip them. Um, yeah, I don't know of any Pokemon where that could really. I mean, the only Pokemon I think where that could matter that might see some play and hasn't in a while is I'm not even sure what set it's from, but an Ambipom.
That's what I was
Uh,
thinking.
yeah, it has an ability like is it Rebel Clash, whatever. But the Dragapult, where it's if it gets attacked, you flip a coin. If it's tails, it takes no damage. Its
Yeah,
attack is you flip a coin for every energy on it and do 60 damage for each heads.
I think I played with
Um,
that card in a cube, and it was like insane. That
yeah,
yeah,
it's it's probably the next best other than like Dragapult of the cards that have that ability.
that
There's a
have
few
that
of them
effect. Yeah,
that have that ability.
yeah.
I personally, from a design standpoint, hate that those abilities exist. Um, just don't
Yeah,
think. I
I don't
think
love
they're
them
design
either.
mistakes. I admit that like there's no reason ever like you obviously never ban them. They're not that strong. They're just
Right.
that annoying.
They are straight annoying. Yeah.
And like so there's just like no skill involved in it. It's just do you flip heads?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the. I didn't realize until you read the card that it was only colorless
It's only
Pokemon. I just thought it
colorless.
was
Yeah.
forever. Yeah, it didn't. I
Only
didn't
colors
catch
book,
that
and
part.
it doesn't. Some people have made the mistake of thinking because it does not outright state like Trick Coin or Flip Teeny that you can't um do that effect multiple times in a turn. But you
Mhm.
still that's just a rule of the game. That's
Yeah.
not like an effect placed on you by like Glimwood Tangle or Trick Coin. That's just a
Mhm.
rule of the game that if you have a reflip effect, you can only use it uh
Right.
once a turn.
Yeah.
So it still has that rule on it.
I think we're at the end here.
I think we are
Any
that.
thoughts left on the? I think we pretty much hashed out all the new cards and everything. Any
Yeah.
final thoughts leading into the 3K?
I'm excited to see everyone. 3Ks are so much fun.
Yeah, I love
I'm
them.
excited to
They're so
see if
fun.
anyone shows up early enough to be there on Thursday. Um, it's fun to see people who make the trip out a little early. Yeah, just excited to cast it, see what does well, what decks I'm gonna build from it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be always good to see everyone. This 3K kind of came up fast. There's always a big gap between the last set of the previous year and the new set of this year, so it was like a
And
big gap of 3Ks.
it's an even shorter gap to Pitch Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have.
Yeah.
They're cramming them
It's
in.
6 weeks.
So this is set release season for Pokemon right in the middle of the
Mhm.
year. After the first set of the year, they all kind of go boom, boom, boom. It feels like. So
Yeah.
we are at the next 3K, Chaos Rising, happening this weekend.
Mhm.
We'll be there. Tony, me playing, Alex casting,
Yeah, tune in
Ben
to see
also
Alex
playing.
cast. Ben will be
Yeah,
playing.
Ben
Yep.
will be playing.
Yeah.
Come say what's up.
So
Come introduce yourself. Come say hi. All of us are very, very kind, very down to say what's
Get them to
up.
sign the Carnivine.
I already signed the Carnivine. I signed the
I know,
Carnivine.
yeah,
Carnivine, yeah.
Shout out
Kevin.
Kev.
Kevin got a Japanese one for you guys to sign, but I want multiple English Carnivines signed.
All right. John,
All
play
right,
us out.
guys. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We're looking forward to the 3K. Hope you are too. Hope you either join us or join in watching. But we'll see you on the flip side afterwards, regardless. Signing off. We'll GL. See you next time.
See ya.